We are live. We are live. We are live. About to. All right. We're going to be doing a breakdown of something. And I always keep going back to this saying, I'm not going to cover this. I'm not going to cover this kind of stuff. But I always end up back eating at this table. I remember when she had a breakdown and people were saying, hey, you going to cover that? I was like, no. What the hell? What in the hell was that? Oh, wow. My phone just did something weird. I remember when she had that breakdown, I was like, no, I ain't covering that. I ain't covering that. She just didn't seem well at all. In this interview, she seemed to be whole 100% in her right mind, but it was still some weirdness. She exposed a lot. She exposed more than what was already out there. The question that I do come back to is why do we care? Okay. Normally, we're just talking about a public figure in Derrick Jaxn who just was messing around with his wife, had a public divorce, and now she's doing exclusive interviews. You know, that's you kind of want to leave that alone. But the fact of the matter is, Derrick Jaxn made his bread and butter taking a crap on men. He made his bread and butter calling men out for their bad behaviors and their actions and the way that they treat women. He made his bread and butter doing that. And he made a lot of his, well, I won't say made a lot of his bread and butter, but he spent a whole lot of time doing counterpunches and clapbacks to a lot of the stuff that men like myself were saying in these male spaces where we do male-centric content, often clapping back and counterpunching to the female-centric content propaganda that's been put out there. He spent a lot of time coming at the guys. We are wrong. But when the things that he would define as wrong, you look at his life and you see, okay, he's living worse than everybody that he's charging up. The hypocrisy on full display. But if he never would have made it his life's work to essentially take a crap on black men, something like this, I'll just leave it alone. But because he made that his life's work, we can go all the way back to this little back and forth with Kevin Samuels that was going on. It's like, yeah, we got to talk about it. Now, before I still got to roll the intro, but before I get to that, from the standpoint of his wife, doing this damn interview with this dude is like, I'm gonna play a clip of it. I may even skip the intro. I gotta do it. I'm just getting right into it. We're not even rolling the intro.
I became a shell of myself. I didn't know who I was. I actually have a couple posts on my page where I have a post that says, I knew her body better than I knew my own.
Stop. Let that sit there. You said you knew another woman's body better than you knew your own.
Yes, several women. I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. And I spent a lot of time, like I went in such a deep hole where I was like studying these women. I would go to their profiles and I would study their pages and like what they wear. I knew when they had met up. So I watched their videos of them having sex. So I would try to imitate that and recreate that in our relationships so that he could choose me and want me. And that is a low point to be. And I'm tearing up a little bit because I hate that I even got to a point where that was a thing, but that it was just that. And so I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. I completely lost myself. I became a shell of myself. I tried to imitate their hair, their actions, even sexual things that I had seen him doing with them. I tried to recreate that in our life. when we were engaged, and none of it amounted to anything.
I know the way a living was whack. She don't get it back like that.
She done a full exclusive interview with the dear future wifey dude, who I had on my show, by the way. It was impromptu. I was just reacting to one of his videos, and then he just, he came, pulled up in the chat room. Respect to him for showing up, respect to him for pulling up. That was a little while back. It was a good conversation. Him and Game Changer got into it. It was fun. It was fun, a little debate, but he was cool. He was cool. No disrespect to this man. No disrespect to this man who pulled off the exclusive interview. Pulled off the exclusive interview. He keep it keep it 100 in the building. says he ain't gone, man. Gone, man. Get out of there. But she's with the shit though. I mean, it's like she was in this interview. She be doing the little battle bonnet god warrior stuff on her Instagram, but she was talking some cash shit in this interview. I was gonna try to keep it relatively clean because I got a little green monetization $ on this live stream. But no, I'm gonna be cussing. I'm gonna be cussing. Like, listen, this was wild out. This was wild out and unexpected. I didn't see this coming. I was late because a lot of people already did some content just off the strength of the initial teaser trailer that I just played. What I just played right there, that was the teaser trailer. The full interview has dropped. And so we're gonna react to the full interview. We're gonna react to the full interview. Is Derek Jackson, who made his bread and butter simping to black women and calling out black men for being unfaithful, for being loyal, for being dishonest. The whole works. The whole works. That's how he made his bread and butter. Even was making videos directly responding to stuff that was going on in this space. Was directly doing that. Now here he is. He got exposed. He got exposed a while back when it all leaked out. Tasha K leaked it all out that he was cheating and everything. Then he did the public interview where he had his wife hand like just in a vice grip, looked like he was about to pop a blood vessel. That whole little interview where she had on the bonnet and everything, where he's trying to walk everything back or trying to explain himself, trying to take like some fake accountability using words like I was in a non-sexual sexual relationship with other women. It was just a cesspool of just goofy nonsense. A cesspool of goofy nonsense. But here we are. And yeah, we about to get into this. We about to get into this. Oh, one quick thing before we get all the way into it. Because I had a full show slated with a bunch of other stuff to talk about that I'm not gonna be able to get to. But I do want to say this. This is one thing I do want to say before we even get started here. Y'all remember the story about the soccer player who pulled the thing off with his wife, where he had all his assets and everything in his mama name, and so he don't owe her nothing during the divorce because he technically don't own nothing. One wrinkle that I just found out on this: his wife is actually an actress, which means she does have her own money, not as much as him, which means he technically can get her for half. And because, or maybe not even for half. Either way it go, he technically, mathematically could make her pay him because he got everything. He got the air that he breathed in his mama name. Okay, he got the air that he breathed in his mama name. He technically can go. He technically can take her to the cleaners. I just want to throw this out. This hero, this hero who paved the way and showed y'all how to do it. we gotta, yeah, Hakimi, that's his name. I was forgetting his name. Yeah, this man is the GOAT. This man is absolutely 100% the GOAT. All right. But so we do gotta acknowledge him, make a national holiday in his honor. Like, this man is the GOAT. But all right, I did want to throw that out there. I had a lot of stuff slated on the table that I was going to talk about, but we're about to get into this. This interview an hour long. I listened to 85% of it, so will be some parts that will be skipped. But without further ado, let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Or he would touch me different. What did I get myself into, right? And now I'm practicing toxicity, right? I'm practicing toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it, and then either being passive aggressive or just super aggressive,
Yeah.
but nothing in between. And then he has no idea what's going on because he doesn't know what I'm freaking out about.
And what you done seen,
right.
What prompted you to start looking through his phone?
I would always get like a feeling, or he would touch me different, right? So after most rape victims are very sensitive to touch. And so any sign of him touching me, any type of any different, I'm like, there has to be somebody else.
All right, that was weird. A few things. So, other places in other algorithm, they just say the R word without putting the G in front of it or moderating it in any type of way. They can get away with that. We can't. We get demonetized and flagged when we do it. But weird and random that she threw that in there. But I think this part was a clip from later in the discussion, so it was a little precursor to that. But she's saying that she could tell that something was going on because he touched her different, and she connected that to when she got what you saying she got raped back when she was 19 or something, like, or sometime before that. I don't know. She's gonna say it in the interview. I may skip that part because it's not really that important. But it's weird to connect that. As much as we got no sympathy for simps. We got no sympathy for simps. And speaking of sympathy and simps, I don't yet know. Is Derek Jackson included in this right here? Hold on. Okay, whoever made that, it was a huge oversight that Derek Jackson wasn't included in that group of simps. That was a huge oversight. Huge oversight, whoever made that. But all right. Here's the deal. Fair use. All right. Yeah, so I don't really care for that part right there. If that happened to her, that's horrible. As much as we want to pile on Sims, we got no Derek Jackson. I mean, we got no sympathy for Sims. We're gonna let Derek Jackson have it. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But that didn't sit right with me. Her connecting, her getting raped, back, probably back before they met, and associating that with him touching her different, and that's how she knew he was cheating. That's a flag on the play. That's a flag on the play. I wouldn't have associated that. But the platform and venue that she owned, women talk about their healing, so it's kind of part of the show. But I don't care for that being attached to the man's name. He ain't never done nothing like that, so it just didn't sit right with me. But that is the show. Women go and sit on his yellow couch and they talk about their healing journey. So all right, it is what it is. All right, let's go.
There has to be.
You're
right?
talking about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch, there has to be, right? And so I would go snooping around because I'm a snooper.
I never imagined my public healing would inspire others to heal across the world.
I thank you for using him to reach the world with the message of hope in relationships.
But your life does not.
God,
y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember that, right? Like this, like he got a nice channel. Funny stuff happen over there from time to time, but But all right, let's get into it.
You are my publicist. We laugh. we share the unadulterated truth.
He said, not only have I not divorced you, I ain't exposed you.
Oh! We didn't marry fans, we married forever. And we wanted forever to act like a fan.
Reveal her, Jesus. I will not compromise on getting a woman of God.
You don't have to.
Yeah, and that was one of the criticisms when he was on my show. It was like, dude, you in every possible circle imaginable to find. The church is like 85% women. The black church is 85% black women. You are firmly in the environment to pick a wife off the wife tree. If you ain't married yet, bro, you don't want to be married. I ain't gonna say getting this Derek Jackson on you. I go see what I mean by that, because it was, she exposed in this. Okay, okay, we gonna skip ahead a little bit. Let me just say this. She exposed in this interview something that I said, something that I was calling from the very start. Something that I was calling from the very start, that he essentially married her basically after she got pregnant, and essentially from pressure from his fans, basically. Because they was like, wait a minute, you taking a picture with a new baby and you ain't married? You looking real fuckboyish. You looking like the fuck boys you talk about. And then out of nowhere, and y'all gonna see this in the interview, out of nowhere, he called her mom to ask the mother for the hand in marriage. But we about to get back. He asked her mother for her hand in marriage, and then asked her if it's okay if I propose to your daughter, and then he proposed and then got married. It's like it was that type of deal. It was that type of situation. All right. It's like it's a lot to it. It's a lot to unpack, but a lot of stuff that I just observed on the sidelines, because like a lot of people who know the backstory of my channel, long before I even knew it was anything called a manosphere, I would just be sitting back, just looking at my Facebook timeline and seeing Derek Jackson videos pop up and seeing all the women in agreement with it. Okay, cool. You expect that, but I would see men in agreement with it. I was like, it got to be somewhere where men are talking and making sense and talking like, I don't know, men. And so I was like, all right, I'm about to do some content. In my mind, I was about to start the manosphere. I went on YouTube. I started Googling and started searching. And then I found out, it was already people on the job. It was already people doing it. All right. I found out it was already people on the job. People was already doing it. And so I just sat back and listened for a while. And then I started making little pre-records, and then eventually started doing live streams and so forth and so on. And the rest is history. But I was like, all the simping stuff that's getting floated out there, it needs a clapback. All right. It needs a counterpunch, a counterbalance. Men need to hear it. The worldview of black men cannot only be consuming the nonsense that's out there. Of course, there's some men who just born just understanding, but then there's some men who grow up as boys raised by their mama, and they hear the content that's out there. They see the movies, they see the TV shows, they think that's how men's supposed to operate. And it's like, no, somebody got to correct something. Somebody got to correct something. So that's why, Derek Jackson is loosely connected to how I even started doing my YouTube channel. He is loosely, if not directly, connected to it. So I saw a lot of the stuff that she's about to expose. I saw a lot of it as it was brewing in its early phases. And she just saying a lot of things that just sort of confirmed what the eyes could kind of see if you was watching back then, because my Facebook timeline was spammed with Derek Jackson stuff. But all right, let's go.
Can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bells. Episode where this season has been coined things lady, opportunity to speak to her. And I just drama. Well, when I first met this young lady through social media, through some drama that she had encountered, I said, I want the opportunity to speak to her. And I just lightly threw that up to God. And a couple of years later, God would allow that to happen. Are y'all ready for this? Without further ado, welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. My new homie, Danae Jackson.
Hey, what's
going
up?
on?
Hey, yes.
Danae, you in here now?
I am in here.
You are on the yellow
I
couch.
am comfortable. I am on the yellow couch. You have treated me well since I've been here. Thank you.
So tell me, what made you decide to do this? I mean, there's a lot of people that come and they've been DMing you and trying to get you to come on their platforms. Why have you said no to all of them and yes to the Dear Future Wifey podcast?
One, because the Lord didn't give me permission to go on any other platforms. So I have to be obedient to him. And when you reached out to me, it was automatic, like, yes. And so here I am, being obedient to the Lord. But second to that is that I haven't had an opportunity to have a voice or to have my voice heard. It's been drowned out with all.
I don't want to get, okay, I vow to not take shots at people's religion. But to me, all that is saying is that other people asked and I said no, but for whatever reason, I just had a good feeling. But so I didn't go. God told me not to go, so I didn't go. But God told me. But when you break that, never mind. All right, I'm not gonna go in on religion. If she feel like God told her, then God told her. But all right.
Being obedient to the Lord. But second to that is that I haven't had an opportunity to have a voice or to have my voice heard. It's been drowned out with all of the noise, all of the drama surrounding my life and marriage and all of that. So I appreciate you creating a safe space for me to come and speak about my truth, my life, and allow my voice to be heard so that others can be healed and made whole as I testify.
You know, on the podcast,
all right. So here's the deal. She's saying it like that, like she didn't have a voice and she wanted to be heard. But at the end of the day, she does have a pretty strong Instagram following at this point. And the stuff that she chose to post on Instagram with her own voice and her own words is this video here that I was not going to play, that I refused to do content on when people was asking me to do it. But because she's acting whole in her right mind, this is what she did on her, this is what she did left to her own devices. I'll just say that.
Better than to know you, and nothing's more important than to show you that nothing comes close.
I'm lowering it down. I think I can't get copyright struck with this, but she's sitting there doing like a music video. Now let's look at how crazy this is. She's singing. It sounds like some Faith Evans gospel song that she's singing while looking at his YouTube channel. It's like she recorded all of this. She recorded all of this and posted it on her Instagram. Like, this is an edited video. These things take time.
Tell me everything is gonna be alright. Yeah, and you mean the world to me.
Like, this is weird.
You are my everything, and I never ever wanna know.
Like, this was weird.
As long as we're together, wanna know you each and every way. I promise to be honest when I speak to you. Wanna put you at the top of my list.
I said I hate his stinking guts. Like, she's making I can't stand my ex-husband music videos with gospel tracks in the background. Like, that's the type of stuff that she was doing. So they can't, clean her up and make it seem like people was out of line for thinking that, okay, she's not well. Like, she was not behaving like a person who was whole in her right mind. And that's why I didn't cover it back then, because I was like, she needs some help. I think that she right now she's looking and talking like she got the help that she needed.
Wanna walk it like I talk it, wanna give you everything. Please tell me that you're rocking with this.
And this is about to be the part where it just got crazy and it just got beyond.
That you don't really need me, but
she looked at, I'm trying not to get copyright struck, but she looked at a wedding picture, picked it up, screamed, and threw it. Like that happened.
Nothing, but I need you for everything. And when I'm honest with you, telling you my issues, you keep it official every time I kick it with you. It's no games, no games. Oh, don't change, cause you mean the world to me. You are my everything.
Now, in a candid moment, if that happens, that's normal. If what just happened right there happens in a candid moment, that's normal. But that whole picking up the pictures, the wedding pictures, looking at it, screaming it, throwing it, then going over to the wall and crying, and then kind of slumping, sliding down the wall, like that was 3 different camera angles. Okay, that was 3 different camera angles. I mean, she had to set up a camera on 3 different occasions, maintain tears, and like it wasn't if it was a candid moment, then okay, all right, feel for you. But no, this was a directed music video. Like it's like it had a script. It was lights, camera, action, scripted and directed with multiple camera angles. Like so like no, this was legitimately weird. This was legitimately weird. All right. So it's oh man. Damn it. I saw a yes. And that is an accurate way to describe what's going on. It's what she's doing is reeking of a revenge tour. Now, keep in mind, Derek Jackson gets no protection from me. But this is reeking of a revenge tour. Like he did what he did. Now I'm about to, and he probably business wise took a hit. And she like, I'm about to stab you, I'm about to twist this knife a little more. But to twist his life a little more. You thought it was dying down. Oh no.
I know the way a living was whack. She don't get it back like that.
Like she out for him. She out for justice. Like Steven Seagal out here. She is out for justice. Shout out to Sodomy and Chicken in the building. Shout out to Sodomy and Chicken in the building. I have no idea why that is so small. I can't even see it. Why is my stuff acting? All right, my stuff is acting up bad. But he says, damn, Derek Jackson must be a very patient man for lasting so long with that nut. Well, that's one angle. That's one angle. When you hear the story, it's like well, I just gotta let the interview play. He says that, or he just hyper focused on his pursuit of the bag. I already alluded to something that came out in the interview. She all but said that he had a lot of chicks, and she was like the long standing main chick, but she was just ended up back in a rotation. She said like this was before they got married, before they was engaged, how she would be coming to see him, and she passing other chicks in the hallway, going up the stairs to his apartment. She gonna explain all that. I'm gonna play it, and then she got pregnant, and then and then an engagement came. The baby was born. The engagement came sometime after the baby was born. But yeah, so his main chick in the rotation got pregnant, so he married her for the brand. It's Noah's like she all but said that. She all but said that. Like it was a brand marriage.
We have a mantra. We say we keep it lit. We live intentionally and transparently.
Yes.
Are you going to keep it lit today?
Lit all the way.
All the way.
Turned up.
You and I have had some conversations in the pre-interview. We've been getting to know each other for about the last week and a half.
Yes.
And man, when I tell you, I've been blown away.
Getting to know each other for about a week and a half. Okay, all right. I don't. Why my mind just go there? Why did my mind just go there? Because homeboy is in the Derrick Jackson business. You know what this remind me of? Y'all remember when Candace Owens was going at Steven Crowder, and she was like and she reached out to Steven Crowder's wife, like, you can come in for an interview and tell your side of the story. It's like, that's, to me, that's what he's doing to Derrick Jackson. Like, wait, they got in the same business. It's like, it's like, how you gonna go after? It's like, you don't reach out to the wife. Did he say they've been, getting to know each other for a week and a half? My mind shouldn't go there. My mind shouldn't go there. But it does reek of Candace Owens telling, making an appeal to Steven Crowder's wife to come on and have an interview. He didn't reach out to Derrick Jackson's wife. They both in the same female pandering, healing business and all of that. But I'm gonna eliminate that competition. Yeah, it reeks of that. It reeks of that. It does. It does. Let me get to rolling the tape. Let me get to rolling the tape. I'm bulling. I'm trying to find additional information.
Way by your transparency, your vulnerability. And social media had this way of trying to make you look like you crazy.
Yes.
And when I met you, I talked to you, I was like, this girl, not only is she not crazy, she's absolutely brilliant.
All right, I played the clip. I played the video. Social media was not wrong for pinning the crazy tag on her. Social media was not out of line in any way, shape, or form for no. We not we not about to play around with that one. We're not about to play around with that one. Social media didn't get it wrong. She was behaving crazy. She seemed to be whole, healthy, in her right mind. So let's see what happens.
So
wow,
what was that? What was that about?
Well, I think the world did not see me for so many years, so they have nothing to go off of.
Facts.
And so they're seeing me for the first time when all of this crazy stuff is going on. And then I'm sitting up here talking about Jesus, talking about a helmet of salvation. So it's like, oh, she has lost her mind. She is
cuckoo for Cocoa
right.
Puffs.
And I'm like, I'm saying I have a sound mind, and I know what's going on right now because I've been
Naya, outside of your spouse, who is Danae?
Danae is a girl from Denver, Colorado, born and raised. I have some brothers and three brothers and a sister. And while I was introduced
I'm going
to
to skip
Christianity,
ahead on this part of it. I'm going to skip ahead on this part of it because they're going to go through a lot of her backstory, and that's nice if you want to know it. That stuff is nice if you want to know it. You can watch the full interview to get all of her backstory and where she grew up and all of that. I want to skip to the Derrick Jackson relevant parts.
class at Tuskegee University.
Hold on. So you met him. Yeah. So you met your husband at what age, and how'd y'all meet?
At 19, we met in business calc class at Tuskegee University.
Hold on. So you met him shortly after your rape experience?
I did 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks after I met him.
No sympathy for simps, but I don't like the, okay. His name shouldn't be connected to whatever happened to her, as far as an experience with being raped before they met each other or got name shouldn't be connected to that. That ain't cool. No sympathy for simps, but the name shouldn't be connected. Yeah. All right.
In class, yes. Right. And so then we add on another layer, right? I went straight into a relationship. Even though it wasn't like immediately we started dating, but I met him and there was interest there. I went straight into that without even acknowledging dealing with the rape. I pretended like it never even happened and got myself into a relationship unhealed. So
What attracted you to Derek?
he's very charming. He's very charming when you see him.
Shout out to Dane C says the NAACP award goes to. Thank you very much for that. And he says they have Bill and Hillary type relationship. Well, okay, I don't even know if to go there with it. Y'all gonna see.
Him, he has a charisma and a presence about him that is just like it sucks you in automatically. And then he's very funny. And so that humor drew me in as well. Of course, he has the looks to go with it. So there's that.
So it's a perfect little balance of
Yeah,
everything.
it's a perfect balance of it all.
And so when you first saw him, did you just see him as somebody that, oh, I'm interested in him? Where is he pursuing you, or y'all start off as friends and it evolved to something greater? Or
No,
what?
so I actually was very quiet. Again, I'm pretty quiet overall and to myself, but he see me in class. I was the quiet girl in class, and he was like, "Hey, are you a model?" I was like, I used to do some modeling, right? Because I had all these pictures of me doing some modeling stuff from high school and all that on my little binder.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still
He looked at her binder, copied off the paper, basically, and saw that it was saw that she used to do whatever little modeling she supposedly did, and then he looked her in her eyes and made it seem like that's what prompted me. I just saw it and I could just see it. But no, you copied off the paper and then asked her.
have this high school mentality with all the pictures on the binder. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to put all these picture collage on here, right? And so I had all that on there. And he was like, "What did you model?" And I was like, I used to do some modeling. And he's like, "Can you tutor me?" I was like, "Yeah."
So you wasn't just a quiet girl, you was a smart girl too?
Yes, quiet and smart, right? And I had these crazy
Smart, quiet girls normally are smart. You don't see too many quiet, dumb chicks.
braids in my hair that were not upkept. I had pimples all over my face. So it's like one of those classic movies where it's like that, the ugly duckling, smart girl in the corner, and then all of a sudden, look at this face, you're right. And so it was like one of those classic fairy tale kind of stories in that regard. But he asked me to tutor him. We met up in the library, and I'm so awkward. He's like, I'm sitting on the opposite end of the table, and I'm just like this.
Way across.
Yeah, way across. And I'm just like, okay, are you ready? And he's like, why are you so like stiff? Like, why are you sitting that far? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, it is.
I was gonna skip ahead a little more because some of this part is unnecessary too, but we're gonna ease into it. We're gonna ease into it.
Okay, to like be a little bit closer.
Had you not been in a relationship before then? You haven't had a boyfriend?
I had had a high school boyfriend.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he was you right, Sir Tice. You're right, Sir Tice. Yeah, homeboy, he was cackling. He was cackling a bit too much. It was sometimes where the interview I thought would have got like more serious, but he was laughing. I mean, everybody got their interview style. But Hoop Jargon, you saying I'm incorrect on that? You saying bullshit, Bernard? Plenty quiet idiots out there in college. Well, I mean, I'll concede that point, but in my experience, most of the time, a quiet chick in school is normally pretty smart. Normally that's the case.
And but it was I went to all white high school.
Okay.
So let's I don't even know what this means. Like, I don't know what that is.
Skipping ahead some parts.
That is good. That's good.
him tutoring you in some things. And from you being his tutor to him tutoring you in some things.
That is good. That's good. I did get I got schooled, okay, for years. No, we after the tutoring, we were having conversations nearly daily. Like the first 3 days, it felt like I know him for my whole life.
Yeah.
And literally, we were on the phone, sleeping on the phone, like those first 3 days, having all kinds of conversations. It was like, oh my gosh, I've known you all my life. This is a fairy tale. I love you. You know, like when are we getting married and having kids? Like it was all
Were you
of
thinking
that.
this or were you saying this?
All of the
y'all were talking about marriage and stuff?
Not necessarily marriage, but it was definitely
having
like
kids?
I like you. Like I've known you my whole life. This is so easy.
Yeah.
Like where have you been?
Yeah.
You know, this is right here in this
19
moment.
years old.
Yes.
Where have you been all my life?
Exactly.
All the 19 years of my existence.
Exactly. All 19 years of my life. I miss you. I loved you. This is what, you know, and so it was great. It's pure ecstasy. And so from there, we spent pretty much every day together. And about 1 month after just meeting, he asked me to be his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. So that was like our unofficial anniversary for years. Yeah, he had this big old heart and he had his shirt off and he was like, will you be my girlfriend?
He had his shirt off?
Yes. He was fine too. I was like, yes, Danae, look at you. Everybody thought you were a nerd, but here you go.
Yeah, that laugh is getting faker and faker. That laugh is getting faker and faker.
Oh,
that's what I'm about to say. What were people thinking? Here you were, this quiet little nerdy girl that you said that had pimples all over your face, but then you get the
doesn't match.
You get the sexy. What did he play football?
He
or
did
anything?
play football.
So you got the sexy jock. What was that about?
Fire. Like for me, that's what I was thinking. Like, listen, Danae, you have upgraded. You are coming into it, right? And
now it is interesting, and keep in mind that was the thing that everybody said initially about them. And I see Roy Benson said, "Yeah, book smart, but life dumb." All right, I mean, yeah, but it's interesting because that's what everybody said initially. Everybody did say that initially, that they were they were mismatched. They were mismatched, and it's a situation where it's like she's in a rock and a hard place either way, because it's like there's no way that you could, add up value wise. I mean, the man, he's a self-made millionaire, a 6'5" former athlete, and still maintained the body like he was playing the whole time. It's like, and women say he's facially handsome, so it's like he's performing a 10 out of 10. It's like it was almost nothing that she could do to where the value, the market value would be the same as we call it. It was nothing that she could do about that. But it is interesting that even back in, because I was under the impression that maybe at some point in their life they both was like average at best or some stuff, and then he came up and and she stayed the same. She's looking good right here. She's looking good right here. You're not gonna hold her up on that one. She's looking good, but mostly every other time that we saw her, she was looking, average at best. That's how she, she wake up like that, so like there, which I see on the screen. So it does reek of a situation where he always had, that leverage, so to speak. He always had that leverage, so to speak, where she was with somebody who she instantly automatically viewed him as out of her league. So it does I don't know, it does make you think that, okay, they started talking on some tutor me type stuff. It's like, it does make you wonder, was it like some, using her because he knew he viewed her as less than, or saw that it was a self-esteem or insecurity issue and all that. It does reek of that. It does reek of that. But even if that wasn't the case, it's interesting to see it was an imbalance even in high school. Like when it finally leaked out that was his wife, everybody was looking at them, going back to the battle bonnet sit down discussion when they had to make the confession. They had to do the usher, had to do the confessions. Everybody was looking at it like, why is he with her? Why was he with her? Now, but even back in college, 19 years old, everybody was looking like, why is he with her? It's like that's been the thing from the jump. It's like that's been the thing that people been questioning from the jump.
And so I think there's a lot of hatred overall.
Yeah.
You know, most people didn't say a whole lot, but I think there's a lot of hatred about it. And then it's like it doesn't match because he is more outgoing and personable. And I'm just like, you know, the literally awkward Black girl that went to an all-white high school. So there's a balance there.
What do you
like? Okay, man. It's like this. Okay, I understand the concept of having an interview and a discussion with somebody, and you want to create an atmosphere that y'all are having more fun than what y'all are really having, or that your guest is funnier than what they really are. So you just giving a little extra encouragement laughs. I get it, but he's overdoing it. He's overdoing it. You know, I've had guests on my show where I've laughed at jokes. I laughed, at jokes that weren't necessary. They was funny, but they weren't that funny. But so you want to encourage the guest to he's overdoing it. He's overdoing it.
White high school, so there's a balance there.
What did he see in you? Because he had to have said that to you before. What did he see in you?
Okay. So he said that he liked that I was like smart, and of course he loved my eyes. And I feel like now, like looking back on it, I feel like there was a lot of compliments on like the physical attributes, as opposed to more of the mental and emotional attributes that I had. But then again, we were in love after 3 days. So seriously. And
so you weren't chubby no more in college, huh?
I still had a little bit of chub. I was in the marching band for a little bit. So I was, I had slimmed down a little bit there, but I still had a little bit of weight on me, but it was proportion. I feel like,
Because enough for him to like her.
Enough. Listen, he did not complain, and I wasn't complaining either. So
it's like nothing is that funny, homeboy. All right.
There's that.
There's that. 3 days we in love. We're going to get married and have a bunch of kids.
Absolutely. Listen, I made him them peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Listen, you ain't going nowhere. White or wheat. I made white or wheat. You like the crust on or what?
Yeah, you trimmed a little crust around the side.
Sure did. Real story.
Cut into a little heart and give it to him. That's our anniversary sandwich.
Exactly. I actually really did that. Believe it or not.
I know we all trying to do the best we can with whatever gesture we had at that moment.
Yes.
So I love it. I love that they call it puppy love.
Yes.
I love that moment. And so y'all.
Shout out to True Hype in the building, says Team Jackson, what's happening? I don't even know if he still do that. I ain't been watching his videos lately. I don't even know if he still do that. I don't even know if he still do that, but yeah, he used to do that to start every video.
Y'all were in college together. You were 19. Are y'all around the same age?
Yes, he was 19 as well. He's 5 months older than me.
5 months older than you. Y'all both 19. Y'all both in college. And when did it change from dating to engagement? How long did that take?
9 years.
9 years.
Yes, we got married 9 years later.
9 years later.
So it's a long time.
That's a long time. But it makes sense when you start off at 19.
Yes.
So you got married around 28.
Yes.
About 28.
Yes,
that's how old I was when I got married. So you're 28 years old, and y'all were in a committed relationship.
He said that's how old he was when he got married. I didn't know this man was married. It's called Dear Future Wifey. He must have got married then divorced.
8 years old, and y'all. So you got married around 28.
Yes.
About 28. Yes, that's how old I was when I got married. So you're 28 years old, and
so yeah, he must have got married then divorced. That I didn't know. That I did not know, because his channel is called Dear Future Wifey. Channel is called Dear Future Wifey. Hold on, I'm trying to pull something up because I think that's Hood Conservative who just put that petty comment up there. I'm trying to pull something up. I can't even get that. They won't let me get that. Give me a second. I was trying to. Let me get something real quick. Hold on. Now, y'all on some Petty Pendergrass type stuff saying that he, that Dear Future Wifey trying to make Derek Jackson's wife his future wifey. Y'all saying that's what he on. I don't know about that. He said they've been spent like the last week and a half getting to know each other. This is the Petty Pendergrass part of the show right now. Hold on real quick. Wait, okay.
It all on the yellow couch. LaTerrace R. Whitfield, host of the Dear Future Wifey podcast, sits down for an exclusive with Danae Jackson. This episode got so good, it's our first two-part interview, premiering Wednesday, May the 24th and Thursday, May the 25th on the Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel.
Not only is he not crazy,
I mean, some of y'all are good at picking up body language. I'll leave that to y'all to make y'all determination. But they've been hanging. All right. All right. We're gonna get back into the interview. Wait, that's not it. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. My bad. Y'all gotta deal with some dead air while I'm pulling up files and give me a second. All right, I think I got it. Back. Those thoughts were circulating through my head, but I ain't want to throw nothing unfounded out there. But I'll let y'all have fun with that in the chat room. We can get on some Sidney Petty Pendergrass, have some, Petty Pendergrass production. I'll let y'all have some fun with that in the chat room. But I I can't go there. Jackie said maybe smashing is part of the healing process. All right, back to it.
Y'all were in a committed relationship. Were there any infidelity or cheating during that 9 years?
I can't really say commitment is a big word. So let's tone that down a little bit. Commitment is a big word.
We got to tone the word commitment down.
We do.
Y'all's in a relationship.
We got to tone it all the way down.
Okay, we're going to tone it down to Danae. What we're going to call it?
So we're going to call it a situationship.
Y'all was in a situationship.
We was in a situationship for a long time.
So y'all never, when after 3 days in love, y'all didn't say, let's make it official?
We were technically official, but there was a lot of on and offs agains, right? In that. So that's why I say when we talk about commitment, we got to tone it all the way down. We got to go back to the elementary level of the word and start at the beginning.
Yeah, start at the beginning.
Okay. And yes, there was commitment at times.
At times,
but there was a lot of on and off again. Okay, and through college and even after college, lots of on and off again. And so leading up to our marriage, we were actually off. Right, we were actually off. We were living in North Carolina at the time, 2015, going into 2016, late 2016.
Now, this is the part where it's about to start get interesting. I was going to start it all right here. This is where it's going to get interesting because now everything is fast forwarded to the point to where, like, at this point, he's doing the car videos. At this point, he's in the video. I mean, he's in the car berating black men about how they need to operate and pandering to women. He's writing books at this point, and she's basically saying we was never really together. She was more or less the main chick. That's pretty much what it was. She said it was not really any commitment. You know, she was the main chick. And that probably was a fluctuating role. The only reason that's relevant because when he was doing all his stuff, when he was trashing black men, it was during this timeline. It was during this timeline.
We went our separate ways because there was other people involved, and there had already been other people involved even in college, right? And so
Be specific. Other people, what you mean?
Other women. There was
Did you ever have other guys that you were dating?
In college, there was a guy, Fabian, who I was
You didn't say
talking.
the man's name. You didn't say the man's name. Fabian,
Listen,
mind his own business.
listen,
Watching the Dear Future White Pop.
Fabian just spit out all his coffee. Like, what bitch? He just said my damn name. You know how easy it is to look up somebody named Fabian and went to Tuskegee around that time. Like, you know, like, damn. Got that man spitting out his coffee.
He's not. He is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Okay. He ain't spit out his coffee. He rolled over in his grave. But either way, keep that man's name out of here.
God rest his soul.
Yes. And so in college, there was that, but it wasn't necessarily a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I actually had used him to I used him to set Derek up because I was tired of him being with all these girls and catching him and going through his phone and watching him do all of his stuff with these girls. And I was like, and I was working with this guy and I was like, listen, I need you to help me to get him back. And I want to set this up. We're going to make it look like we're, you know, this great couple, like I'm cheating over here and all this. So he helped me. He was, you know, he did. And
man, get out of
what you do? So how y'all set it up?
So we had the same car. We had the same type of car, which was.
He said, get out of there, no guarantees. He said Derek Jackson put a hit out. No, you wildin'. But he says, so this is the love and redemption story of a bottom bitch. Yes. No, it's about to get basically explained. Seeing this game run all the time at Tuskegee on Quiet Girls. They feel so blessed by the DNA. Yeah. I mean, the quiet girl, the smart girl, she wants a lot of the same things as the other chicks. Like, you know, it's like a real thing. Like, they're all modern women. And one thing that I was going to do, if this story didn't just randomly drop in my lap, well, in everybody's lap, because everybody kind of talking about it now, I think. But yeah, one of the things I was going to do, hell, it was a damn TED talk where a sophisticated, educated woman was just basically trying to pathologize or intellectualize whole culture, basically. That's what, and so I was going to do a breakdown of that, but then this kind of dropped in my lap, so I'm leaning with it and rocking with it. But thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Says she was officially in his rotation. Absolutely, Sodomy and Chicken. She was. She's going to explain that quite clear. Dane C says, BR, I sent 2 super chats and I read the 2 super chats. You read there was one, the NAACP award goes to, and you said he says they have Bill and Hillary type relationship. I don't know if it's a Bill and Hillary type relationship, but nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I know what you're talking about. It was probably, I mean, on his end, it was political move, and she kind of going to get into that and say it without saying it. She kind of going to get into that and say it without saying it. So let's go.
The Subaru, one of those like Fast and the Furious type of cars.
How you get one of those? You had some little money growing up.
Listen, my uncle,
fly on campus.
I had a 2000 was for us to go race, and we worked together. So clearly, I was at work when I wasn't in class. So there's that. And then I would set up times where like I would be like let's meet up at this place. And I knew Derek would find out about it, and I wanted him to because I wanted him to pay.
You want him to be jealous?
I wanted him to. Like, I've sat there and watched.
Now, one observation: Derek ain't the biggest simp in the story. Now, you a real hardcore simp if you basically being the stand-in crash dummy to help a chick make her boyfriend jealous. Like you're literally this dude is basically meeting up with her so they could be seen walking out of somewhere together, so Derek Jackson could see it and get jealous. Like if you like you about to get your ass whooped over some pussy you ain't even get, like for real. Assuming that you're telling the truth and Fabian wasn't smashing. But if Fabian wasn't smashing and he was just a stand-in, he basically she just nominated him to be a crash dummy. Come be a crash dummy in this experiment to see to see how jealous my 6'5", 250-pound muscle bound boyfriend or whatever ship boyfriend gonna get. Come stand like that's some serious simping when you putting life and limb on the line.
I mean, literally look through his phone and watch him have sex with other girls
On the phone.
on the phone.
That's
Like
good.
I mean, him to pay. I knew Derek would find out about it, and I wanted him to because I wanted him to pay.
You want him to be jealous?
I wanted him to. Like, I've sat there and watched. I mean, literally look through his phone and watch him have sex with other girls
On the phone.
on the phone. Like, I literally watched it. And so that was soul crushing. At that time, this is well before we're married, but I've seen it multiple times, multiple girls, several. This is just in college. We're not talking even about marriage.
After that, we're gonna get there in a little bit. We're
Right?
gonna talk about straight college. How did we get here?
So there was a lot of anger and bitterness, and I never once really confronted him about it. I always kind of like sat on it and just buried it. Mostly I feel like now I'm looking back on it, it was a fear of rejection and abandonment.
Because you felt like if you spoke up, he gonna leave.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't want him to leave me. Like, so I have to just take this. But then at the same time, it was creating this deep-seated hatred and resentment and spitefulness. And so here I go setting him up. And it worked.
Fabian. So how'd y'all set it up?
So we would be at work conspiring, and there's actually a group of us, right? We would be at work conspiring.
See, they're conspiring. That means Fabian, dumbass, was like in on it. He's volunteering to be the crash test dummy in her attempt to make her sort of boyfriend jealous. Like this man is just Operation Human Shield. Like damn.
And I'm coming over, like let me come over to your house, after this, or I'm gonna come out late, or I'm gonna tell him that I'm with all the girls, but we're gonna like link up and do this so he can I want him to see it. I want him to catch it. I want him to feel everything that I have been feeling with all these women, all these girls that he's been with. I want him to feel all of it, and I'm here for it.
And then what happened?
Well, years later, I was still dealing with the effects of it because I never really like confessed to setting him up until like way later. Like,
so you and Fabian never did nothing?
No.
Y'all ain't kiss? Y'all ain't do nothing?
No.
And so
now, if that is true, that is like God level simping right there. That is God level simping, where you just being a stand-in crash dummy to help her get back at her boyfriend, and you ain't getting nothing out the deal. And she said, "This man is no longer with us; he's died." And Jackie Jack makes a really good statement there that I hope some form of simping didn't take Fabian out. R.I.P. Yes, we don't have any data on it, but we theorize that a lot of the men that are locked up behind bars, it is a situation where, involving a woman, one man dead, another man in jail. And if one of the men that's dead, that end up dead, wouldn't even sexually involved, that's a whole nother ball of wax right there. That is a whole nother ball of wax right there. But thank you for the super chat, sir. Tice, do appreciate it. Says, shoot, whoa, shit. Goddamn. Something just, y'all didn't see that. It's a bug in here that just flew right in front of my face and scared the shit out of me. All right, show must go on. I need to stop the show and kill that damn thing. But anyway, uh Sir Tice in the building says, let me make that. Let me make that bigger so I can see it. Let me make that bigger so I can see it. I guess that'll have to do. Says she no different to me than the typical ex-drug dealer broad who after the fact is now reformed, acting like they didn't benefit from the trinkets. She knew he was selling BS and was good with it. Woo! Not Pablo, Sir Tice with the comment of the day. Sir Tice with the comment of the day. I'm trying to drop a bomb for you. You saying she like the Nino Brown girlfriend at the end of Nino Brown girlfriend towards the end of New Jack City when her conscience tried to come in. You're a murderer, Nino. It's like, yeah, and you was living up in that big house. You knew they took over the Carter and made all that money and had people in there packaging crack and butt naked and made all that money. They made millions, and you up in that double king size bed and the top of that tower with Nino Brown. Don't get a clear conscience at the end. Don't get a clear conscience at the end. You was benefiting, you was loving that lifestyle. You see it about to come to an end, and they getting close to getting caught. Now you want to try to come out, and now you want to get a conscience. So yeah, no, I'm like, Sir Tice, you don't know how accurate your statement is when I get through to playing the rest of the clip. You don't know how accurate your statement is because like I said, she knew all that was going on and was 100% okay with it. They didn't get married and be together for real until she got pregnant. And I'm going to show how that was more than likely just an executive decision on his part for business reasons. So no, you are absolutely 100% right. But Deacon Dave in the building says Fabian is now forever known as BAN. True Hype in the building says Dirty Mackin on steroid. Oh yeah, Fabian. Yeah, I mean simps are the ultimate dirty max. Simps are the ultimate dirty max. And since we're talking about simps, it was an oversight in the simp video team. It was an oversight. They don't got Derek Jackson in this video, but oh well. Yeah, it was a huge oversight. Derek Jackson. It's a huge oversight. Chantel, that is very plausible. That is very plausible. I was thinking that I just wasn't going there. But that is very plausible. I don't like the idea of, yes, chicks get pregnant on purpose, but this is the only way that I could truly put it all the way on the chick because I mean the dude gotta participate in it. Put it like this: if birth control was the agreed upon method and two people were a couple and her being on birth control was the method, if she got off on purpose and then she technically made him engage in a form of unprotected sex that he didn't realize, like she basically stealthed him. That's what they call it when a guy take the condom off. If a chick do that to a dude, then it's like 100% on her. But I do operate with the protect yourself at all times type of situation. So that's why I don't go as hard when she got pregnant on purpose. I'm a firm believer in the protect yourself at all times. But there are situations where I'm like, yeah, she, dead wrong and dirty. Now, the fact of the matter is, I think it's pretty clear and obvious she wanted to get pregnant. And when you was the main chick, never really his girlfriend, the main chick for that long, and you competing, you fighting with the competition, You know, you're going to hear that come out in a little bit when as the interview goes on. She was trying to out compete the competition. So yeah, that's a good way to compete. So yes. She got pregnant on purpose, but the only way that could happen is the dude is being reckless too. So, you know, there's that.
So you just kept that lingering for years as if y'all really did something.
Yes. I wanted Derek to feel all of it.
And so what did he catch you doing? Just walking out of his apartment one day?
I honestly, I don't know what he really caught me doing. He never really told me what he caught me doing, but I know that he's at least seen us doing some racing. I know he's seen us maybe like going to like a meetup point and all of that. So
so he never confronted you about that and was like, I know you cheating on me with
not
Fabian.
in college. No, we're in marriage when we were dealing with unpacking that. And then he was like, you were cheating on your husband. And I was like, not in college. No.
He never confronted you about that and was like, I know you cheating on me with Fabian.
Not in college. No, we're in marriage when we were dealing with unpacking that. And then he was like, you were cheating on your husband. And I was like, okay. Okay. Maybe I was emotionally cheating. Okay, I'll give you that. In college, 9 years before we ever got married. So I didn't cheat on my husband, you know, but it was like, no, you cheated on your husband while we're in marriage. I'm like, no. You can't use that because we weren't married at the time. So
did you have an emotional affair with old Fabian? Did you like him?
No. No, I did not. I was dealing with some severe heartbreak.
She just laughed at how much she didn't like Fabian. if he was laughable, Derek Jackson knew damn well there wasn't nothing going on there. Like she laughed like that, you know. That's how they view simps. That's how they view simps. She just outright laughed when he asked was she messing with old boy.
Did you have an emotional affair with old Fabian? Did you like him?
No. No.
See, that laugh was like it wasn't at the did you have an emotional affair? That ain't nothing to laugh about. It was like she laughed at the did you like him?
Emotional affair with old Fabian? Did you like him?
No. No, I did not. I was dealing with some severe heartbreak, like the things that I seen Derek doing with other women at the time, and I was really attacked.
Pablo is asking, just an update for those that don't know, because Pablo was asking from the chat room. He's saying, what is this? Well, this is Derek Jackson's wife doing what I amount to a revenge tour. You know, she's doing exclusive interviews, exposing things that people don't know for all that he was doing, and he was cheating on her and blah blah blah, and now she's she's trying to twist the knife, so to speak. She's trying to twist the knife.
I know the way a living was whack. She don't get it back like that.
That's what's happening here. That's what's happening here.
Attached to him, and then you have to think I was coming off of that rape trauma.
Yeah.
And so I never dealt with, that I never talked to anybody about. And so there was a lot of turmoil that I was having. I wasn't thinking about, oh, Fabian is this guy that I'm trying to be with. I'm thinking, how am I going to get this guy back? But then at the same time, I don't want him to leave.
Lose him. Yep.
You know, but
you want him to feel the pain, but don't lose him.
Right. And it's like, what?
But then you're not even speaking up about what you saw.
Exactly, right? So these are all the issues that I brought into the relationship. Lack of communication.
And the fact of not speaking up was the same thing that you practiced when you were sexually assaulted.
Exactly. So it just carried over, and I didn't realize the power of not speaking about the rape trauma until well after the fact. And I'm like, wow, what did I get myself into?
Again, no sympathy for the simps, but I don't like that, you know, her getting, you know, raped back before the two of them met is intermingling into this conversation. You know, like I said earlier, the guy, Dear Future Wifey, he do a show, you know, for women about, you know, their journey and their healing journey and all of that. So I get why it's on cue, it's on par with his channel and what he normally do. But this is heavy. Derek Jackson name is in this, and it's like, no, don't. I wouldn't be. It's out of line to connect it to, in my opinion. It's out of line to connect it to. It just don't feel right. But all right.
What did I get myself into, right? And now I'm practicing toxicity, right? I'm practicing toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it, and then either being passive aggressive or just super aggressive,
Yeah.
but nothing in between. And then he has no idea what's going on because he doesn't know what I'm freaking out about.
You said Sexy Red says, "Whoa, wait, you believe a woman?" Rather or not, I believe or not believe a unconnected story about something she said that happened to her when she was 18 is irrelevant. So no, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So that I wasn't even making a stance on whether or not I believed or didn't believe. I just, I'm just taking that part of the story at face value and saying it's unconnected to the whole Derek Jackson part of the story, because the only thing he did is have a bunch of side chicks, and she was more or less just the main chick the whole time. That's what Derek Jackson is guilty of. The whole part about what happened to her before they met is irrelevant to the story, so I'm not even giving an assessment of whether or not that's true or not true. Sexy Red says, "So you simping, Bernard? So you reaching, Sexy Red? That's what you're doing. You're reaching."
What you done seen?
Right.
What prompted you to start looking through his phone?
Anybody who's been watching this knows that I've been probably more critical of her than Derek Jackson. But no, it's not simping. I don't just pile on and just echo and parrot everything that a woman is saying just because she's going at a man. But when a man is under fire and that man is a certified card carrying simp that speaks against black men, then yes, we're gonna criticize the actions and the hypocrisy of this particular man. We're going to criticize the actions and the hypocrisy of this particular man who spent all his time talking shit about black men while being this exact type of black man that he was talking shit about. He's been exposed as that, and we're going to cover it. That much is going to happen. That much is going to happen. It is a phenomenon that happens where when somebody doesn't like somebody, they start just believing whatever a chick is saying about them and using that content using that information against the man. That much is true, but Derek Jackson has been exposed with photo and video evidence 10 times over. So it's not like a bunch of people just making up lies on him. But at the end of the day, like I say, no sympathy for the simp.
I would always get like a feeling, or he would touch me different, right? So after most rape victims are very sensitive to touch. And so any sign of him touching me, any type of any different, I'm like, there has to be some, there
All
has
right,
to be
so
somebody else.
we gotta
There has
go.
to be, right?
Okay, all right. We gotta go ahead and do this. This bullshit saying I'm going kind of soft. If I was going kind of harder, you and the fucking seal clappers would be talking about I'm SBN. So shut the fuck up and y'all do me a favor and time her out on cue with the where is it? Where is it? Here we go.
This is madness! This is Sparta!
I had to kick her in the Spartan pit. We normally, I had to kick her in this. How is she still typing? How is she still typing? I'm not supposed to be able to see that. She's supposed to be already kicked in the Spartan pit. I shouldn't be seeing nothing that she typed. Hold up. I shouldn't be seeing nothing that she typed. I mean, everybody like time her out until y'all fingers start bleeding. Time her out until your fingers start bleeding. Don't just do it one time. Oh, y'all are deleting messages. No, don't delete messages. Time out. Time her out. Time her out till your fingers bleed. I got like 1,000 people with wrenches. Get her timed out. All right. Get her timed out so we can get back to it. This is her trying to run interference for Derrick Jackson, is what she's doing.
Talking about with a change.
I'm like, there has to be somebody else. There has to be.
You're
right?
talking about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch. There has to be touching me any type of and so any sign of him touching me any type of any different, I'm like, there has to be somebody else. There has to be.
You're
right?
talking about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch. There has to be, right? And so I would go snooping around because I'm a snooper. And when you seek, you shall find. That is a true biblical verse. So if you don't believe in the word of God, listen, let me tell you, when you seek, you will find. And when you find, you have to know what to do.
And what's so bad about it? People will find something.
See, and I got distracted by the part messing around with Sexy Red. I got distracted that you saying that she could tell that. Okay. She just explained that she already knew 100% that he was messing with other chicks and that she was practically just the main chick. But so why rope it into the conversation that, well, because I was raped back before me and him met, and when you're a survivor, you're sensitive to touch, and I noticed he touched me different, and that's how I knew. It's like, oh, that's unnecessary.
But then they won't do nothing about it.
Exactly.
Because they weren't prepared to leave.
And that was me.
You was like, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna bust them. And then like, what you gonna do? Because you're not gonna even tell them that you busted them.
I did absolutely nothing. Sit there, crying. Okay, this is how I'm gonna get a little bit serious, right? Okay. I would seek and I would sit in closets and cry, and I would be in there wanting him to find me in the closet crying. And when he would come and find me in the closet crying, and then I would say, I'm just crying because I miss my dad. I would blame it on something else. And they would always mostly be about my dad. Like, oh, I'm crying, but it's really because I just sat here and watched you have sex with, or, right?
And she can't stop saying people names. Hold on, let me make this back big again. He had to bleep out names. She already outed a dead man. And now she's roping other chicks' names into it, but he had to bleep it out.
And they will always mostly be about my dad. Like, oh, I'm crying, but it's really because I just sat here and watched you have sex with, or, right? So
no, Danae, there ain't no real people name. Is it? I don't want you throwing people's name out here.
Okay.
See, she on this shit saying people real name. You got to bleep it out, and this dude just is too damn giggly.
So we're just gonna keep on going.
We're gonna make fake names up. Okay,
we're gonna make fake. We're making all kinds of fake names up.
Okay,
right now, all fake. All fake names.
All fake names.
Okay. So
you will watch him have sex with Sue.
Yeah, and Sue and Jane and Jade and Sheila. That's a fake name, right? I don't know.
That's a fake name. That's not a real person.
Seriously though, I would sit there and watch that, especially in college. I would literally sit in closets, or I would sit on the side of the dresser. And
so let's keep in mind, she's going way back before college. After college, she basically knew everything that was going on. She was going through his phone. She was watching videos of it happening. The whole works. It's like that part can't get lost in translation here, is that she was 100% knew exactly what was going on. Knew exactly 100% what was going on, married him anyway, and it never stopped even after the marriage. And she's going to show even more even more how she was just clearly with it.
Be crying, and I would be there, and I would stay there in that space until he came back, where like from wherever he was, and he could find me, and then he can console me. But he didn't really know he was consoling me about his indiscretion as opposed to the lie that I told him.
Right.
And so all of that is toxic behavior. And I had to go back and really deal with that later on once I started to realize that, hey, Janae, you are not well. You are not okay, and really deal with why I was doing that and unpack it. So.
And so on again, off again, situationship, commitment, lack thereof.
Jackie, it wasn't almost from the very beginning. It was literally from the very beginning. It was literally from the very beginning. It was never a time when they were like actually together. It was never a time.
Of 9 years, you go through this, and you said right before y'all got married or got engaged, y'all wasn't even together. Please help me understand that.
Yeah. So before we moved to Atlanta,
here it go right here.
We were off. We got off because he was dealing with some girls and things like that, and it was a issue. And at that point, I was very like hostile and all that towards him. Just like, I'm not gonna deal with this, and you're a, F boy and all these things,
Yeah.
right? I had some different kind of choice words and language at that time,
Mhm.
and then the Lord saved me my mouth. Thank God for deliverance.
I think a lot of people give you a pass on whatever word you decide to use back then.
But no, at that time I had asked him, I was like, do you believe the things that you're saying, right? Because this is at the beginning of his career really like taking off. And I'm like, do you believe the things that you're saying? And it really caused a rift. And so we were off. And so that time.
Now, this is the part where it gets interesting. This is the part where this actually mattering is relevant. They little relationship stuff. I don't care that much about that or whatever. But this is the part where it's interesting when we're looking at it and examining it purely from a standpoint of he was on the internet doing content. He was on the internet doing content, and she's like checking him like, do you even believe the words that are coming out of your mouth? The stuff that you saying in the car, the stuff that you saying in those videos, the stuff that you writing in the books. He's saying at that point, that's like when his career started taking off. He's becoming the guru dude, calling out men for not treating women like the queens how they deserve. And she's checking him like, do you really believe this shit? And then now they got a riff. Now they fight. Now they arguing and they beefing about it because she calling him on it. All right. Now, like I said, the timeline of it all, and I peeped this timeline, but she's basically saying what I already naturally peeped out when he explained when they met, when they was together, when they got engaged, the whole works. All of that was going on. All of that was going on when he was doing all those videos. When he was first, I think probably only on Facebook. Well, mostly on Facebook. That's where he the biggest at. All of that was going on. So everything that she's describing, all of it taking place while he's being the relationship guru. So shout out to Steve Harvey. He married the side chick and then started telling everybody how to treat women. Anyway.
In that time that we were off, we were still messing
because
around.
You questioned whether or not he believed that which he was sharing with the masses on avoiding F boys and that type of stuff. Y'all fell out because you asked him if he truly believed what he was saying.
I asked him that. Yes. It was a big thing, and we did fall out. Along with the fact that there was actually other girls at the time, and so it was just all too much. And so we end up ending that, and then we both end up moving to Atlanta. Right from there.
How y'all keep moving to the same place?
Soul tie.
Those magic words they use to make excuses for what they do.
Listen, people underestimate the power of a soul tie.
Yep.
And it's a soul tie, and I had no idea what that was at the time, and neither did he, right? And so
it was like, who would move there first? Did you find yourself following after him, or just
no? So we had actually planned to move there prior to, because we were living in Raleigh, North Carolina at the time. We had already planned to move there, but there was so much. I had caught him with some other girls. The girl actually reached out to me, sent me their conversations and their pictures and all this stuff, and I was freaking out on him. And then we're like, okay, this has to end. So we had already planned
So
to
at
move.
this time, you were 27, 20?
We were early 20s. Yeah, so about 24, 25.
All right, so y'all lived in Raleigh around that time, moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, we moved to Atlanta, and we had already had that in the works. I had already transferred jobs. We just hadn't made the move yet. So it was just, it
y'all
happened.
Gonna move together at first.
Right.
Even though y'all not in a committed, we're gonna use that word loosely again.
Shout out to Theo Wife in the building. Says I'm gonna get medieval timing strag red out. Right on. Sodomy and Chicken in the building says surviving Derrick Jackson coming to own fall 2023. Yeah. I mean, it ain't a surviving Derrick Jackson type story, but yeah, they could probably get him with some trumped up charges, make a own documentary out of it, put surviving in front of it.
Were y'all in the?
We were in technically a committed relationship when we were in Raleigh, North Carolina, living together.
When y'all was making the plan to move together,
right? When we were making a plan to move together, we were moving together like as a unit,
as a couple.
But we ended up falling out before then, and so while the plans were still on to move, I had already transferred jobs. You know, he already had whatever he had going on, and so made the move. My mom came down and she helped me drive down to Atlanta. I had my own little space. Anyway, we were still engaging sexually, even though we were off, right? And so it was in this time where there was a lineup of us. We were passing each other on the stairway in and out.
No, y'all wasn't. No, y'all was not passing
you think this is a game.
You were not passing each other on the stairway. No, y'all was.
We were passing each other on the stairway. Like, this is my shift from this time to this time. So
when I tell ya, been trying to tell ya, she was just the main chick who got pregnant. And it ain't even 100% clear if they passing each other on the stairway, if she was even in the main row. She probably lost her position as main chick and said, "Forget this. I gotta recapture the crown. I gotta take the throne back." And she got pregnant. That's pretty much what it was.
You know, I was a willing participant in that, and this is like, I can laugh about it now, but it's really sad, you know, to like, what space do you have to be in to accept that? And so I dealt with it already, so I could laugh about it now, and it's funny.
That's what
but it's like,
right? You look back at your old self and laugh.
I'm just like, what? You know? But yeah, no, seriously. It was, you know, I'm coming over at this time. I know such and such is going to be rolling through about, you know, an hour and a half later. And sometimes we went a little bit longer. So literally passing each other on the stairs, like out the door. All right, have fun, you know, your shift, you know.
Keep in mind, he, during this time, he was in his car doing videos titled Top 5 Ways to Know that he's only interested in sex. You know,
and
during his time, everybody else on earth was a fuckboy but him.
Literally. And so there was a lot of people involved at that time. We weren't in a relationship, so all the people that like committed relationships, so I was just on the rotation at the time, and I ended up getting pregnant with our first child. And it was in that I was like, okay, Danae, you got to figure out involved at that time. We weren't in a relationship, so all the people that like committed relationships, so I was just on the rotation at the time. And
she said she was in the rotation.
I ended up getting pregnant with our first child.
And she just ended up, I just went to sleep and I woke up pregnant. Like, she got pregnant while in the rotation. Now, there's some people who going to criticize Derrick Jackson, you know, in terms of, you know, being married and cheating on your wife. And there's a there, okay? There's a there based off the parameters and the way everything is set up and the way that he talked and everything. Right now, Like what she's describing, there's no victims, there's only volunteers. And if you look at what she's describing, I see no victims. I see nobody doing anything wrong. I see a man clearly communicating to her that he don't want to be with her, and her not letting go, her deliberately, willfully not letting go. Deliberately, willfully not letting go. Now I'm just now finding out that I have some type of typo in my title. I'm just now finding this out. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix that. And the person who told me that there's a typo did not tell me where the typo was. God damn it. I think it can be fixed on the StreamYard. Hold up. Typos and titles can mess something up. So hold up, give me a second. A typo in the title could cause less people to find the show. But all right, let me get back to it. Let me get back to it. Says she's coming for his whole career now. I think that's what she's doing. I think that's what's going on. I think that is what's going on. Where's the typo in the title? Somebody let me know. No, I didn't misspell her name on purpose. No, I spelled her name with the. How did I? Where? Where's the typo in the title? I can't see it. Dane seen the building says she coming for his whole career now. Absolutely. True Hype in the building says this sounds just a cleaner version of a pimp type of situation. An old girl was the bottom. Yeah. She was the main chick. She was the main chick who got pregnant on purpose. She was the main chick who got pregnant on purpose.
And it was in that I was like, okay, Danae, you got to figure out what you're doing with your life. You are whole pregnant, and you can't get rid of this child because I had already had 3 abortions before, and the Lord had already dealt with me. And I was like, Lord, if you save me from this, I'm not going to ever do this again. Got pregnant. I was like, I can't go back on my word, Lord. I don't want you to kill me.
Yeah.
But
That's the typo. Okay. Thank you. I can't spot my own typos. You just can't tell me, hey, it's a typo. You gotta literally tell me where it's at. If I knew how to spell it right, I would have spelled it right the first time. So you just can't tell me it's a typo and think I'm a founder. If I spelled it wrong the first time, I'm a proofread it and proofread it wrong. Shit. Public school education, god damn it. All right, let's go. All right. They be saying a lot about black boys that can't read. Little known fact, the same study that shows that I think only 12% of black boys read at grade level in the 8th grade or whatnot. Little known fact, only 18% of black girls read at level 2. They ass can't read either. So let's just don't let them throw that in your face. Look it up. They can't read either, but they somehow the most educated. All right. Anyway, back to it.
But so I started. Okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing with my life, and then I started getting a little bit more serious. Like, what are we doing? He was still.
Thank you, Sexy Red. I do appreciate you giving the correct information right there. Somebody time her out, please.
Doing, stuff with other girls. I knew about it, so I did still participate in some sexual activity and all that, knowing that he was with other girls. I was a willing participant, but it did start to take a toll on me mentally and emotionally
Of
because
course.
I'm pregnant,
Yeah.
right? So there was a lot of women involved in that time, and it was in that time that I had a conversation with his mom, and I was like, "Listen, I don't have another 7 years to give him. I'm trying to figure this out, and like I want to be with him. I want to do this, but I don't have another 7 years to give him, so he has to figure out what he wants to do." And then shortly after that,
So you basically went to the mama like, I'm tired of just being a chick in the rotation. I got pregnant. He still ain't stopping doing what he doing. I'm still just a chick in the rotation while having a baby. The Hail Mary pass ain't work. What what more do you want from me? Like she she threw the Hail Mary pass, it didn't work. Now she talking to mama.
I'm getting a call from my mom, and she's like, I just got a call from Derek asking me for your hand in marriage. I thought you were not in a relationship." I was like, "We're not. We're we're doing this co-parenting thing." And she was like, "Okay, so what are you gonna do?" And so I actually knew.
Keep in mind, millions upon millions of followers on Facebook. He had somewhere in the area 2 million followers on Facebook at this time. 2 million followers on Facebook, main chick in a rotation pregnant. That's what it was. And then this happened.
And she was like, "Okay, so what are you gonna do?" This We're not in a relationship. I was like, "We're not. We're we're doing this co-parenting thing." And she was like, "Okay, so what are you gonna do?" And so I actually knew about the engagement, which she didn't know about, but I actually knew about the engagement and all that because my mom told me about it. She was asking me these questions because she was like, "I thought you weren't in a relationship," and I'm like, "We're not." And so I had to figure out, okay, he's being serious. He called my mom. They
Did
don't
that make
even.
you excited? How'd
It
you
did.
feel?
I was so excited because I'm like, he called my mom. My mom and him, like,
So the rotation chick that got pregnant seemingly on purpose is super excited. Okay, he proposed. All right. So now she's like, okay, the Hail Mary did work. Now you may be asking, okay, why did it work? How did it work? And RM, I did send you the link. I did send you the link. I did send you the StreamYard link. Here's the deal. You may be asking the question, well, what made it work? At one point it wasn't working. Now, like I said before, my Facebook timeline was spammed out with Derek Jackson. To like every chick I was friends with on Facebook used to share Derek Jackson stuff. This was a minute ago. This was like 2017, I think. This was like 2017, I believe. And maybe 2016. I distinctly remember what happened. All right. She's not exactly about to tell this part, but I distinctly remember what happened when he posted a picture of him and their baby. Okay. One, the internet started the rumor back then that he got a white girl pregnant, but no, some black babies are just born very, very pale and then they get their color later. That's why they be looking at the ears to try to see how dark they gonna be and all kind of stuff like that. It's just looking at the fingernails and the I don't know, the elbows. What black people do. We got all our little methods trying to figure out how dark skinned it or light skinned it the baby gonna be. Okay, so he posted a picture of the baby, all right, of him and the baby laying on his chest. And I distinctly remember seeing that because at that time I was getting, all his stuff was popping on my Facebook timeline and everything. And so I saw an outright immediate backlash come from his audience. His audience gave like they was basically letting him have it because he was selling himself as this ideal prototypical model citizen, good man, non-fuck boy. He was everything. Why can't I find a guy just like Derek Jackson? But then when he posted a picture of him and that baby, and it was they were completely unaware he was in a relationship, let alone engaged, let alone married. It was just out of nowhere. And so then they started, like, he was flooded. Like, I mean, this was like the early stages. Like, y'all know how everything was like kind of they was going at him when all of this leaked out. When all the stuff leaked out about him cheating and everything, like last year or the year before last or whatever, like the way that everybody was coming at him then, this was like a lightweight version of that, where his fans was like, how you just popping up with a baby? Like, you ain't married? If you ain't married and you just popping up with that baby on your chest like that, then you one of the fuck boys you talk about. Like, they was going in. He got a little quiet for a little while. And then, like a few months later, just I don't even know exactly how long later, but not that much long after that, it was, it was basically like, the whole, I'm married type of thing happened. It's basically like it was announced that he was engaged, and like he was married like that. It's like he instantly got married. It was a little bit of time. I think she was, because I mean, you guys remember the wedding pictures. She was pregnant again in the wedding pictures or whatever. It's like, so he basically just went and married her through backlash from his audience, because they was going at him. It was going at him and going at him hard. Like, and she said it, and made it clear, like they were co-parenting. They were doing the co-parenting thing for a while. When he posted the picture, baby on the chest, the baby was a newborn. It was a newborn baby. She said they was co-parenting for a while and wasn't together. So he started noticing a dip in the numbers when all the questions kept coming up. How you got this kid? You ain't married. And then so he basically just went and got married. And keep in mind, if y'all just made it in here, she said he had a rotation of chicks, and she would be coming up the stairs and the other one coming down the stairs. They like high-fiving each other. She was the main chick that got pregnant. And when he tried to post a cute picture of him with a baby laying on his chest, his audience, the women, they wouldn't having it. They like, nope, you a fuckboy. So then he basically went and married her for career and business purposes. Like she left out some details, but she pretty much said it. She pretty much said it and made it clear and made it plain that they got married after the baby was born. They got married after the baby was born, and he had to do that. He had to do that. He can't just have a rotation and be knocking the women up. The one he got pregnant had to get married. If he would, I guarantee, if he would have got another chick in that rotation pregnant, that would have been the one that got married. So she did the damn thing. She got pregnant, but they was not together. They was not together when they went from not being together to being engaged.
Like they don't
mess with each other.
No. And so he humbled himself. He called my mom and asked for my hand. I mean, she's serious about me. It's meant to be. Absolutely. So excited. And so, yes, I was so excited about it.
To be.
Yes, he called my mom. He don't even know what that means, right? He called my mom. They don't even get along, first off, like that. So that meant a lot.
Why didn't they get along?
I left my phone in his car when I first met him, and he called her, and that conversation didn't go well. So ever since then, it's just been like a battle between them, and I've kind of been in the middle of it, and it created a lot of anxiety in the relationship. So I actually isolated from my family a little bit, and just kind of was doing my thing, being grown, and being involved with his family mostly.
And so
Clue, you are absolutely right. She is trying to make this like a sad interview where she let out some tears, and I was trying to be nice, but he's being a bad interviewer because this is a serious moment, and he's like trying to he's overdoing it with the laughs when stuff is not even funny. And so it was supposed to have a tone of a serious interview, like maybe start out funny and then cry at the end. It's like that's what she wanted to do. Like, you are right. She's trying to cry, but he keep laughing. You are absolutely right. This is stuff that she want to put on her tears about, but he's just not reading the room. It's like both of them in two different rooms, and neither one of them is reading it right. It's like, yeah. You can't make this up. Mothers didn't like each other, and you can't make this up. Mothers didn't like each other, and they're funded by the sisterhood that they benefited from over lies that the sisterhood bought into. At the time that she was main chick in the rotation, that rotation, yeah, he was making money. He was making bank. He had books. He had the card game. He had plenty going on. Like, she knew she basically had a rich man that she had to lock down.
You get a tip that he's going to propose. How did he propose?
All of our family was there. All his family was there. My mom and my brother flew in, and we had like a little housewarming party because we had just moved into a new house. And
so y'all got back together then. So after the tip off, how did he come back around and say, "Hey, can we be back together?"
So my lease was up in my apartment, and so we were actually technically still off, but I didn't have anywhere. I'm like, if my lease is up, I'm not about to renew it, so I'm either going back to Denver, or I'm coming to stay with you. I want you to be here for the baby's birth, and it was right around the time that she was going to be born, so we need to figure this out. So I ended up moving in basically with him in the house that he was in, and we never really officially said like we're back together. It was just like implied we're back together, so there's never a conversation like, yes, we're doing
we
this.
Go together, circle yes or no.
It was just like we're
together.
We're together. And so that's how that happened. And then I got the call and I was like, okay, we're together, and we're rolling with that. And it felt great. I was all on board with it. I was excited. He called my mom.
He called your mama.
What?
Humility.
Right. And so
Shout out who we got in here. Tea Leaves in the building says they say they're not practicing polyamory. That's what it technically be. Actually, no, this is more like polygyny. I think that's just when the man has multiple women. No hard evidence that she had other men. So there's that. Says Jackson might need to switch to the PUA market. He seems better suited to be a game advisor. He could pull that off. See, she had the baby for leverage. Absolutely. Agreed.
That's how that happened. And so all of our family came in, and we were celebrating this housewarming because we just moved into this new house. So the plot was, oh, we're celebrating the housewarming, but everybody else knew, hey, engagement, but little I knew too. And so he had the song play, and it was like right before midnight. And
okay, I don't hear about this part.
Do you know this? Yeah, I had our baby.
2 months.
She was 2 months old. He had her in this little "Will you marry me" bib.
The time we put this in perspective, you're about what, 28, 27?
Yeah, I was like, right. I had just celebrated my 28th birthday.
Yeah, and so you're 28 years old, and then so now, how long did it take from "Will you marry me" to "I do"?
It was right at a year. So we got married January 13th, 2018. And That was a long year before marriage. There's a lot of stuff that went on in there. We tried some marital counseling. We did not finish that. There was,
You said premarital counseling or marriage?
Premarital counseling.
How y'all didn't finish our premarital counseling?
No.
Why not?
There was a lot of issues that arose. So as we were doing the counseling, I started to come out with a lot of the hurt that I was hiding from college days. I started to come out with that and how it made me feel. And it was a lot, I think, for him to handle all of that.
Like, oh my God, how you know all this stuff?
Right. How do you...
Little Big Nate Show 2 in the building says the reason he married her is to send a message to his cultist black women that you too can get a 6'5" black muscle-bound meathead nigga, rich one too, if you listen to me. He's significantly better looking. He is significantly better looking. It's a scam. Yeah. I mean, that's why, tactically, business-wise, marrying her was a normal thing. I mean, was a good thing because she's like she is a normal looking chick. I hate to play the video of her crying right there. I was trying to pull up a non-dialed up a video of her, but no, she's a normal looking chick. So that did sell well to his audience. That did sell well to his audience. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That absolutely sold very well to his audience.
How do you know? Right. How do you know? But then also, like, why are you just now telling me about this?
And you still here?
Right.
Like,
out with a lot of the hurt that I was hiding from college days. I started to come out with that and how it made me feel. And it was a lot, I think, for him to handle all of that.
Like, oh my God, how you know all this stuff?
Right.
Like,
how do you know? Right. How do you know? But then also, like, why are you just now telling me about
and you
this?
still here?
Right.
Like, you know all that, you still
right. And so it was a lot for me to just like be like, and you did this and you did that. And I feel like I did do a lot of shame and blaming in.
What did she say?
You still
right. And so it was a lot for me to just like be like, and you did this and you did that. And I feel like I did do a lot of shame and blaming in communicating all the things I have been holding on to. So it was a lot for him to handle in that time. But anyway, it was all of that. He was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
So we never.
Derek Jackson wife, Hafiz, Sexy Red, Sweet Life of Atari, Real Talk with Yanni, Taz, exclusives. It's a interesting cast of characters who be using a shit. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to say nothing about it. I'm just saying the people who be adopting the lingo. I'm just saying, this is an interesting cast of characters. That's all.
We're finished, and then and then here we go in the marriage. So
so you said he said I'm not gonna finish marriage counseling, but we're gonna continue going on with the wedding.
It was looking a little bleak at first, right? Because at that time I went back to the gym and started working out, and then I had a male trainer. And so then at the time that we're going through premarital counseling, then it's like, oh, you're talking to your male trainer, and you're having a relationship with him. You're trying to hide it from me. And I'm like, I'm all these things. And so I'm like, I'm not trying to hide this from you. Like you see him, we go to the same gym. You can have a conversation with him. His wife is a trainer at the gym too. Maybe
his wife should have been your trainer. There's women trainer that work at the gym. You can get one of the women trainer. That's suspect. Ain't no man trainer training my woman. That ain't happening. And not to mention that Derek Jackson is the ultimate fitness dude anyway. So the woman need a trainer and a dude to do it. Like that's all kinds of weird. That's all kinds of weird.
I should have asked for his wife to, like, I didn't even choose the trainer, but basically it became an issue. And so then that became the focus, as opposed to like me having a male trainer, and what I'm doing over here became the focus of the conversation.
And be clear, did you have anything inappropriate with the trainer?
I did not.
And did he ever
And Joe Breezy, you are right. I think you are right in that. Derek didn't care. He was accusing her just to keep her off of him. That's what people do when they got a lot of shit going on. That is the tactic. That is the tactic. But this was a bunch of messy shit. All right. This was a bunch of messy shit. And what happens a lot of time. Look, I'm not coming at I'm not trying to defend Derek Jackson. Look, no sympathy for the simps, okay? No sympathy for the simps. However, what happens in these equations, it be women who be culpable in the situation. Then time goes by, they get a little older, they find Jesus, and then now then it just become a part of their victim healing journey. That's what it end up being. That's what it end up being.
say, well, you need to have a female trainer then?
He did not, but I took it upon myself. I went to the little desk and was like, hey, I need to change trainers. And then the trainer was like, did I do something wrong? Whatever. Can we have a conversation? I was like, it's nothing that you did wrong. It's just, I got to do what I need to do, and I need a woman. And so then I got another trainer, Serena, and she got my whole life together after that. But yes, that became the focus.
You and Trina was actually working out at the gym. All right.
There was a lot of issues that came from that, and pretty much triggered the toxic behavior in him, to where now we have all these things going on in our marriage. So,
such as, you said triggered what? You said that trigger what? To accuse you of infidelity, to give him a pass to cheat on you?
Essentially. Like, so me bringing up all these things, and then him feeling or accusing me of having this relationship with the trainer, which I did not have, but allowed him basically like, okay, I'm being like in his mind, I'm being disrespectful, I'm being unappreciative. He's done all this changing and actually asked for me to marry him, and here I go, just bringing up all this stuff from the past. And
would you say he was on his best behavior during that time?
Define best behavior. Okay. So if we're talking about,
Charles Merchant in the building, he says, is this the same airhead that was enacting curses on anybody that exposes her, that boy, or whatever? I don't even know how to pronounce that word. But yeah. The answer to your question is yes. She was rebuking everybody, cursing everybody. She was doing so much weird stuff. Like she earned the title of crazy. She earned the title of crazy. Sower of Seed, what are you doing to get blocked? Is $1 million question. You said, well, would they all quit blocking you? What you doing to get blocked? I know you've been blocked on my channel, not timed out. You've been actually blocked on my channel before. So if you back to your old ways, whatever got you blocked or timed out, I mean, whatever. If you back to your old ways of whatever got you blocked, then it is what it is. But I don't know. I'm trying to do some research and find out, what have you done? It's pronounced Bo. See, nope, we got somebody said boo. Somebody said Bo. Boo, Bo. I don't think nobody know.
Okay. Yeah, so we have to define best behavior.
Okay, we're going to define it as not messing with other women at this point.
Okay, we're going to have to define that too. Okay, so listen. Okay, I'll put it this way. Were there women that he had still had contact with in some way, that he's had a sexual relationship with or some sort? those people were always there. He was always constantly having at least a minimum a dialogue with them.
Okay.
Like if they were friends.
And was it discussed that he would no longer have those conversations with people in whom he had sexual relationships with?
No, so that wasn't discussed until after I left the marriage for 8 months. That wasn't discussed until after.
All right. So if you understood what you said right there, basically she's saying that she knew he was still in communication and in contact with all the other people, and they never discussed him not having sex with those people, which means even after they had the baby and got married, that basically he still had his rotation and she knew about it. And so yeah, they got married, or he married her for business optics. Is all to it. Main chick got pregnant, he married her because so it won't be bad for business.
After that. So, but going into marriage, no, there was not really a dialogue about like, hey, all these people that you've had a relationship with or whatever in the past, like all of them need to cut out. You ain't no friends. There was not, there was no dialogue about that. I didn't have any boundaries
Right.
or barriers.
Modern day problems in the building. Modern day problems in the building just dropped a $20 Cash App on it. Just dropped a $20 cash. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate that. RM is not in the back today. That's why you don't see any banners. I should have had that fair use scrolling right there the whole damn show. But we're gonna put that right there. Thanks for supporting the channel. There is my Cash App. Anybody wants to support the stream, there's my Cash App, or feel free to super chat. Choose, it's all up to you. All up to you how you want to do it. But just getting that Cash App just reminded me that I probably should at least had a Cash App scrolling. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. Do appreciate each and every one of you who's been supporting the stream. Shout out to everyone who has super chatted. Do appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the like button.
You didn't even know what that was.
I didn't even know what a boundary was.
Exactly.
Like, what is that? I didn't have any standard, or like, I didn't even know that was a thing that you can actually request, or not even request, that you implement. So, yeah, I had there was none of that. So, was there people that he had at least at minimums conversation with, that he has had sex with or has some type of dealings with? Those people had always been there at minimum in conversation form. As far as having a sexual encounter, to my knowledge, there wasn't a whole lot going on. But then again,
RM said, I'm sorry, I'm stuck at Walmart. You would have been out of Walmart, but the reason it's taking you so long is because you strike me as a coupon clipper who come in there with a whole trapper keeper full of coupons, and you in there cutting and clipping every coupon, and you turn a 45-minute trip to Walmart to like 2 hours and 45 minutes because you're trying to coupon everything to death. You just seem like one of those. Go in Walmart for one thing, come out with like 100 different things and clipped every coupon. That sounds like RM.
Not too long after our marriage counseling, premarital counseling failed, he met up with
Don't be saying no names,
a relative. I wasn't.
Okay.
I was bridling. I was thinking.
Met up with Shaniqua Thomas.
Right.
And,
a relative in supposed to, like, a distant relative. It's like one, like, their cousin married my dad, so that's my cousin type of thing situation. But like a relative, essentially claiming as a relative, they met up, but this is somebody that he had a conversation, or like sexual conversations with and things like that in the past.
Sexual conversations. They ain't had sex.
He says that they had never.
Yeah, right. Okay, here's the deal. Now I'm seeing this in the chat room popping up quite a bit. Kenny Alpha, that's a funny name. He says, I no longer blame DJ for how he acted. I firstly bashed him. Now I no longer do that. okay, it depends on what exactly you was bashing him for. If you was bashing him just on some, he cheated on his wife, how dare he? Then yeah, it is kind of different because, like I'm saying, she was in the rotation all the way through, and it sounded like it never really truly stopped all the way. But my criticism of him has never been, you cheated on your wife, how dare you? My criticism has always been, you a big hypocrite, and your whole platform is all cap. We called it from the start that it was just one big lie and pander, and he ain't really what he's putting out there, and all of this is exposing it. He's lived a life that basically says that he knows that everything that we talk about in the manosphere, the black manosphere, that he was fighting against, making, you know, it wasn't until Kevin Samuels that he actually, made it clear who he was talking to. But he would all, whatever, like you would notice with him, whatever the theme was that everybody was talking about that week, he would do a video that kind of correlated with it. You would notice that he would do that. So he was always responding and clapping back and for back, with to the type of stuff that we said, because his business kind of can, hinged upon the idea, the notion that the things that we say not be true, and him propagating the ideas, the notions, of all the nonsense that he's saying. He needed that to be the prevailing message out in the ether, because that was how his business operated. So this is just a bit glaring, we told you so type of thing. This is a bit glaring, we told you so. But if I was just criticizing him just for the mere simple act of cheating, I didn't, that was never my major criticism, because I had my suspicions, and now a lot of my suspicions are confirmed that she knew from the start. And even when they got engaged because, he got a baby by his main chick. That's what it was. True Hype in the building. It says, less messy stories on Jerry and Maury combined. Wow. I don't know if she liked it. I think I will say that much. She knew. I don't know if she liked it. I just think she tolerated it. I don't know if she liked it. She definitely tolerated. She was okay with it. She was okay with it. Well, she said she was watching it on the phone. Like, we don't know if she was into it. We don't know that. We don't know. No, we don't know that, but we do know that she was. We do know that she was okay with it. We don't know if she got hot by it. We don't know that.
Ever had sex, it didn't go past their sexual conversations and things like that, but they did meet up not too long after the marital counseling,
the premarital
counseling that we had. So
you don't know what happened. If anything happened, they just met up to
right. So outside of that, I don't know. When something did happen, let's see, that was like a couple weeks before we got married. And
Kenny Alpha, with a name like Kenny Alpha, you shouldn't be too surprised. There are women that get turned on by it. Don't forget that one.
I didn't even think we were going to get married because it was such a big blow up. And so he got his hair cut by a girl that he used to have sex with, and she posted a picture on Instagram with hearts. He was standing behind her, and there's hearts surrounding them, and I lost it on him. I lost it. I did not use any kind of biblical words at all. And I didn't even know biblical words at that time. So I lost it. And, at that point, it kind of triggered, like, he was like, you don't trust me. Like, you're supposed to.
She said, I didn't know biblical words at the time. That goes into it. I said, like, she said it earlier in a part of the interview that I skipped, that she wasn't religious back then. She got religion much later. So, like I said, she was complicit in all of it. She was the main chick that got pregnant. And then now, after it's all over with and everything, that she got married from being the main chick that got pregnant, it's all over. Now it turned into her spiritual healing. I found Jesus' journey, where she gets to be the victim, but she was complicit. with a lot of it.
Be able to trust me. Like, I'm not even I needed my haircut because I'm trying to make a living for us. Like, this is important. There was nobody else available. And I'm like, you didn't even tell me about this. At minimum, you tell me that you have to get a haircut, and you didn't even do that. Not only did you not do that, you hid it from me. You sent the haircut appointment confirmation to the work email, and I'm running your emails. What kind of right? And so it was at that point where I blew up, where I was like, okay, I need to get help. I got to figure out myself. And I actually
He's slipping on his pimping for real. If he flirting with chicks, hooking up with chicks through the work email, and she handle his work emails, you slipping on your pimping for real.
got therapy. I got 3 therapists.
You got 3? Why you need 3?
I needed all 3. All 3 of them. I got
one of them miss something, the other one pick it up.
Exactly.
And that miss something.
Yes. And I did that for about 3 months until I settled on one. And then I was with her for about 1.5 years. Yes.
So you said this was a couple of weeks before y'all said I do?
Yes.
And then after you got over that, y'all just decided to go ahead and get married at the same time. Y'all didn't change the date 2 weeks later.
Yeah, no, we did not change the date. We still got married 3 weeks later. We did it. I was pregnant actually with our son. Nobody really knew I was pregnant because I wasn't really showing that much. And I didn't tell a whole lot of people
So
I
you're
was
pregnant
pregnant.
with the second child?
Yes, our son. And so yeah.
And so now you get pregnant. It's a trip. You're getting pregnant in trauma. It's like the first time you got pregnant, you're passing women down the stairwell or passing them as you leave. Y'all making y'all D appointments.
Yeah,
and
right.
so then you end up
8
getting
o'clock.
pregnant. You said 8 o'clock. That was your standing appointment. 8 o'clock. On what day was it?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know, listen, before that her song came out about, only on the weekend, listen, that was already going on.
That was already going on.
God damn. She was legit on a schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8. That's my night show schedule. But that is wild. That is wild. Ain't much else to say. Ain't much else to say.
I had to renounce that, by the way. That is not okay behavior. I do not endorse that behavior. I'm just testifying.
You're testifying right now. And so you had your standing appointment, and then you end up getting pregnant, and then I don't know what motivated him, but he will have to tell that story of what made him decide, well, let me marry her.
Yeah,
You know what made him say, let me marry her? It was bad for brand to just be getting some chick pregnant. If you marry her, then now that's just you and your wife and children. You're a family man. A family man fits with the brand. Having a rotation and one of your hoes pregnant don't fit with the brand. Like, that much is obvious. That much is obvious.
Not sure what really prompted him.
One thing that's not included in this is that I remember the backlash he got on Facebook when he posted a picture of him in the newborn baby on his chest, and then his audience said, "Oh wait, hold on, you a fuckboy? What you doing just showing up with a baby? You ain't married. You talk all that shit." And then lo and behold, not too soon, down the road, he had to turn up married, and then he started talking about being married. That's what happened.
Family that told him that? Was it he always promised himself that he'll never have a kid out of wedlock? I don't know what his journey is.
Well, I don't know like all of his story, but from just some conversations that we had, it was like when we were in college, I always said that I would leave and go back to Denver if like certain situations happen. I'm leaving. I'm taking the
Jay, a story to tell in the building says, we never disliked Derek Jackson for being an F-boy. We disliked him for telling us we couldn't. You mad because he poisoning the well that he drink at? that ain't nobody else drink at this well. That's what you mad for. He was trying to mess up the game for everybody else while he was the damn ringleader of that game. I get it.
the baby with me, and I think that scared him. So I think he was it was like, okay, he's living his best life and I'm sitting up here allowing it, right? Because I'm a willing participant. And now, and so he's almost in fear that I'm going to leave because now I've sat down and had a conversation with his mom, and I'm like, I don't have 7 years, additional years to give him. I'm tired of doing this life
And you know
with
his mama
him.
told him too, said, baby.
Right. And I believe she did because he brought that up to me like, man, you told my
I
mom.
didn't think I was going to make it to the end of this interview. I actually made it through the whole damn thing. It's only like 10 minutes left in it. Only like 10 minutes left in it. And I haven't even heard this part going forward. I haven't even heard none of this going forward. I haven't, so we're about to see what happened.
On this, and I'm like, okay, your mom clearly told you that, so cool. So clearly there was a conversation, but I don't know that necessarily that motivated him per se. But I think it was a combination of like his mom told him what I said, and then whatever I said in college, where I'm like, I will leave you or whoever I'm with, I will leave and take this baby with me and go back to Colorado, have my mama and my people out there help me raise this child. We've been doing it, that mentality.
Yeah.
And he was like, he can't have that. He wants to be involved and all that. So I think all of those at least played a factor into it.
So now you're pregnant. People don't know it. You're walking down the aisle. Y'all just
I heard that right. It's only she said she got pregnant. Threatening to leave to make sure the wedding go through or something like that. Trying to let it play because I do want to get to the end of it. I'm watching it for the first time with y'all right now. We just chilling doing a watch party.
Dealt with some stuff 3 weeks prior. You have reason to believe that this other woman that you already know he messed around with, she's posting stuff for the world to see on Instagram, hearts around it. He behind her, they taking his picture. He tried to hide the actual haircut appointment. And so you already suspect about that. You get married that day. Was that a day of wedded bliss? Were you happy that you try to put everything behind the veil and said, I'm going to put all the past behind us. We're going to start afresh. We're going to start anew. And I am now Mrs. Jackson. Call me Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Yes. All of the above. Now, I was so excited to be getting married. And again, my mentality at that time is where like, I'm getting married.
We can't gloss over the fact. Keep in mind all the crazy stuff that we saw her doing post all of this. She did, and so I don't know how or why you need that's some special type of crazy if you need 3 therapists. I just 3 of them. Like you literally gonna sit, you build up hours of rapport with one therapist, and then you're gonna go to another one and start back at square zero and tell them the same thing, and then go back to square zero and tell them the same thing. Then you have a breakthrough with one therapist, but you got to go to the other one who don't know about the stuff that you just told this other therapist, or you got to go retell them again. I'm pretty sure therapists wouldn't want to be sharing a client at the same time on the same issues. Like that is some schizophrenic shit for somebody to do.
Everything is like my dream wedding.
And I won out of all of y'all.
And so everything is falling into place. The only agitation I had was because I was pregnant and I was hungry, and the wedding timeline sometimes you be hungry, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. I'm actually 6 months pregnant at this point.
You were 6 months?
6, and nobody could really tell. Like people were like, "Are she pregnant or is she not pregnant?" Like that's how it was.
6 months.
6 months. So I wasn't necessarily showing as much as I could have. After that, though, I was like, people were like, "What happened?"
You got your honeymoon, boy.
Right.
Y'all was lit.
Right.
I don't know what y'all did on y'all honeymoon.
Right. And so that day, though, it was great. Like it was like everything was coming into place. The outside of course, like I said, being hungry, and then with a little bit of agitation because he had already been pre-gaming with having a couple of drinks with his friends. The best man. So
Nate saying that Kendra G literally said in an upload yesterday she had 3 therapists. Run, black man, run. Yeah, I be plotting on doing some reaction to Kendra G videos, but the thing about that, if I do a reaction to a Kendra G video, I would have to actually watch Kendra G first, and that's difficult to do. Some aspects of this is difficult as well because I just don't. It take a lot of work to sit there and listen to a long format comment. Like if they make like a And maybe I should find if she posts good 8-minute clips. If she do that, then I'll probably do some Kendra G reactions, because this is difficult to just sit through a whole hour. But I just wanted to go in and react to it while I was fresh.
I was upset first off because I can't drink, and I could taste the alcohol in your breath. You know,
You may not
You wouldn't know Battle Bonnet God Warrior at the time.
kiss the bride. You like, God, it tastes like Jack Daniels.
right? Exactly. I was like, that's the first thing I said. I was like, you've been drinking, you know? And you know, pregnant women, they like have a sensitivity to every like smell and taste. And like, is that what year is that? You know? And so
Oh God.
but no, it was great.
Jackie, you said Kendra G post clips. Start sending me Kendra G clips. Start sending me Kendra G clips. The good ones now. A little bit Nate said, trust me, my nose bleeds every time I watch her. I know, I done seen you blow a gasket reacting to some Kendra G. I've seen that. I've seen that. Actually, I've probably seen more Kendra G with you covering her stuff than I've actually watched Kendra G. But KP from KC5 in the building says, Action Jackson, the 304 pastor, thy sought trust in the, he says, thy shalt trust in the lies of simp Lord Derek Jackson. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that.
It was everything that I could have dreamed of in that moment.
So after that, I do, was everything going great for a period of time? Was there a period of time of wedded bliss? Don't say define what wedded bliss is.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen this, but I want to watch it up to the point to see if she makes it all the way to the part where Tasha K blew everything up. I want to see if it gets to that point.
No.
I don't believe in watching videos in like, you know, 1.5 speed, because it's hard to listen to me. But I'll go ahead and make an exception.
We're not gonna do that then. So wedded bliss.
Was it happy? Was it like, oh, he stopped? I'm not threatened by other women that he's bringing into the relationship.
No.
We're good. He's thriving. He's doing these car videos, and he's thriving, inspiring millions of women across the world. And he's treating me the same way as what he's telling other women to accept treatment as. He's honoring me as his queen. I'm his wife, and he's treating me accordingly.
Okay, so no, no, it was not, and I wish it had been. But so after that, we went on our honeymoon. That was great. Even at the honeymoon, it was like he was on his phone a lot, and so I felt some type of way about that. But I like whatever, he has to work because look at the life I'm living. I got caught up in like, oh, I never experienced anything like this before.
Explain what that, because people don't understand what you mean by that life. What life are you living?
Okay, so there is a life of glam and riches and
yeah, you was married to a rich man that you was okay, I'll accept that she to some degree was hurt or had feelings about him being with other women, but what's being left out of it is that it just sounds like that was baked into the cake and that was going to be a part of it. And she understood, accepted it at some level, but she is a woman and the emotions get the best of them. And so she had her outburst or hurt feelings about it. But like we said, she was like she said, she was in the rotation, had a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. appointment and was passing the other chick on her way up the stairs. Like, that was damn near right up until the time they got engaged. No, that was going on. Yeah, that was like you said, like she already said it. She already said if you got here late, you missed it. But yeah, she basically said that's what was going on up until the point that she got pregnant. I meant to say that's what was going on up until the point that she got pregnant. She got pregnant, and then it was oops, shit. All right, let's get married.
Fame, like when you have some status, it comes with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with access to stuff. It comes with like this extra treatment. It comes with money. I had not experienced any type of level of that. And I'm like, all them Disney movies are paying off. I'm living the life of the rich and famous.
And that was the payoff. That's what she tolerated it for. That's what she put up with it for. She wanted to live that rich lifestyle. By then, we talking 2019. He was during that time, around that time, he dropped a video saying that he, they was talking about, making. I remember when Kevin Samuels was pushing the, 6 figures a year thing, And he was like, I've made over 6 figures a month for like the last, I forgot how many years. Like, so during this time, like he making $100,000 a month. Like, she living the lifestyle of the rich and famous at that point. And so yeah. Came with looking the other way on stuff.
Look at him. He's fine, and he's doing this, and I get to stay at home, and like I was a whole Atlanta housewife without being on the show, right? Whole out here, and so
whole Atlanta housewife,
no show, behind the scenes, right?
Nope. Then after it's all over, you find Jesus and go on your healing journey and battle bonnet and start cursing everybody to hell. Yeah, I mean that's the way it go. That's the way it go. She get to be a victim for the things that they was complicit on and knew what was up.
Status,
and
right?
So you were running the business though, right? You were doing the back end stuff?
Yes, behind the scenes. I was doing the customer service. I was hiring people for his team, adding people on there. All of that. I had to get some help. I hired a couple of people to like help take some things off of my plate because there's so much. He was growing so fast with all the different aspects of his business. But no, it wasn't just marital bliss. There was a lot of women that he was still at minimum having conversation with, and that I caught him with, and I was just like, this cannot happen.
You caught him having a conversation?
Yeah, it's like he's literally texting them while we're in the bed. I'm like, why is this name in there? Why are you still talking to her? I thought I had told you how I felt about this, and this is where I had still in a toxic way, but I had started being a little bit more vocal on the toxic side of saying, hey, this is not okay. Essentially I was expressing at the root of it, this is not okay. And I feel some type of way about it, but it wasn't in a healthy way. I could have done it a lot better than what I did. But there was that. And then with that, it was like, you're insecure. I have to do business. These are business people. I built these relationships. I'm like, well, nobody told you to mix business and pleasure. So if you have business with them, that means, guess what? You need to cut all business ties. This is not a relationship that you can have. Right. And so that caused a lot of just friction. And it became, I'm insecure. I'm unhealed. People change, but I need to figure out my own stuff, which I mean, those things I did. I was insecure. I did need to figure out some things like within myself to be more secure and at least to come to him assertively and be able to communicate in a more healthy manner. But it still did not pacify or negate the fact that these conversations and these relationships should not be existing. So there was both of those dynamics happening at the same time. And I didn't have the words or the tools to be able to really navigate that the best way that I could have.
So to be clear, at this point, what year are we talking about? Year 1 or 2?
This is the first.
So the first couple of months, you hadn't caught him. No more videos in his phone, sleeping with nobody. Nobody sending you videos and pictures that he had been cheating on you. Just inappropriate conversations.
Inappropriate conversations at this point. A lot of them. And so, I mean, there were so many to where I'm coming off of just having a baby, right? Or having my second child. I had severe postpartum actually with both children. So just think of all the trauma that we're unpacking already that I never really dealt with. Severe postpartum where I was on medication for like 8-9 months on medication and going to the medical therapy that I had to go through just for being on postpartum depression. So all of this stuff is happening. And it was in that time where apparently more of the conversations and transformed into more than conversations. And I didn't find out about it though until, months later. But that is around the time where those conversations became more than conversations again and started to be physical things.
So we're going to stop right now and we're going to come back. We're going to come back tomorrow.
Oh, shit. I was wondering. What I was wondering is if they was going to get all the way up to the point where it blew up and then everybody could see what was going on, basically when Tasha K exposed everything. But apparently that's the end of the interview. He did say it was going to be 2 parts of it. I'm not going to cover the second part of it like this. I'm going to wait for clips. I may cover the second part of it. It will be in the form of clips. I'm not doing a long 1-hour watch party on that because this was a bit too tedious. This was a bit too tedious, but it can be fun to just watch it and just raw react to it and just give raw reaction to it, hearing it for the first time. But so I'll probably wait and I'll wait on the next ones or maybe do some pre-records to it or something like that. We shall see.
Tell when your ex is spiraling in guilt and shame and regret after losing you. There's a few things that he's going to do, and it never fails. And I'm not even big on look back at your ex, look back at your past, but if you don't understand.
Okay, that was Petty playing that part right there. That was Petty playing that part right there.
I was just them girls. I was gonna get right back.
All right. So Oh, right, all right, all right, all right. Sexy Red, you just keep coming back, don't you? You just keep coming back. But it's so funny when you just listen to his clips and the things that he's saying. It's just like, oh, why? Why you doing this to yourself? Like this video is like a few weeks old.
And these things, you may end up letting them back in. You may end up blaming yourself. You may end up somehow repeating the same cycle that you got led into the first time. So I got this question.
Ain't it funny to just listen to that? After listening to that interview, that's what you got to do. After you listen to that interview of his wife talking, and then just play a Derek Jackson video. Just any Derek Jackson video at random. Just pick a random moment and just listen. And it's like, oh, come on, come on.
And actually not even from one of my self-crown members. This was on my last free masterclass, the Secrets to Making Evolvement Crave You Masterclass. Some of y'all know I do a Q&A right after, answer all questions and stuff like that. And if you missed the last one, you can catch the next one at the link down in the comments or in the caption whenever you see it to get access to it. But anyway, the question was, Derek, how do I know that my ex is really sorry versus, or if he's really sorry versus if he just wants to get back in and do me bad again?
I promise y'all. I literally said I'm gonna go to his page and I'm gonna pick just one of his most recent last videos. I didn't even see the title. I just picked one at random, and I just said, after we play the tape, I'm gonna watch a random Derek Jackson video. And we go like, I haven't even listened to this. Oh my goodness. See, this is why we don't like him. This shit right here.
And I'm going to say this. I don't even want to take that long on this one because I'm going to get straight to the point. When your ex, after the relationship ends, is trying to avoid guilt, trying to avoid the shame, trying to convince himself that he was not the problem, the first way you know.
Yeah, I remember when they were sitting there holding hands in that video and he was like, I had a sexual relationship without the sex. You know, like what he's describing is exactly what he was doing. What he's describing is exactly what he was doing.
And this is going to seem obvious, but he's going to try to get you back. Not get you back because he wants to do better. Not get you back because he's had a chance to see things for what it clearly is. Not get you back because he loves you, but get you back just to remove the pain of loss. Some men have not evolved to the point.
And that's where that pander is at, trying to see the dude leave a chick, he left a chick. The pandering, I ain't even relating this back to him in his situation. This is just a response to just standard Derek Jackson pandering. The pandering that is to try to convince them that, you know, that this man is hurting and he's sad for losing you because he lost something so great. So we're just trying to recoup that pain that he lost from losing you.
Where they can handle any kind of uncomfortable pain. And any man who runs from any type of discomfort also runs from growth because growth is uncomfortable. So when a man has not evolved to the point where he can handle the uncomfortable pain of loss, of shame, of guilt, of whatever his conscience is trying to convict him so that he becomes a better man going forward and he doesn't make those same mistakes, whether with you or somebody else, he'll try to soothe that pain by any means necessary.
Got to get back with her to soothe the pain of the loss. Logan JJ says Derek Jackson versus Derek Jackson. Yeah. There's videos like that. I could take halfway credit. My very first video that I ever made, this was a 2018. It was a reaction video to Derek Jackson where I showed clips of him contradicting the hell out of himself. I think on my very first one I did that. Yeah, I showed clips of him contradicting the hell out of himself. So it was, I should have titled it Derrick Jaxn versus Derrick Jaxn, but Abbott and Preach, like a year or so later, they did the same thing, and I think they titled it Derrick Jaxn versus Derrick Jaxn. But True Hype in the building says, "Is this your king? Is this your king?" Yeah, yeah. All right, let's hear some more. But it's like when he just say statements, it's like words just come out his mouth, and it's just like it's like the ability to say this stuff with a straight face when it's like it's not just like nobody knows what's really going on, but it's like now everybody knows it. You can say it with a straight face if nobody knows what's going on, but when everybody knows what's really going on, and he don't break character. Like this dude is like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. He don't break character until the DVD commentary come out. Like he maintains frame. He holds frame.
So what this looks like is a man that after he does you wrong, instead of saying, you know what, I do want to take some time. I do want to get that help. I do want to address these things. Not only does he have this, profuse apology, but it's this urgency to get you back right now. There's no regard for the time that you need to heal. There's no awareness of what bed that he's made that he now has to lie in of your distrust, and that you need to see new patterns if you're even going to entertain getting them back, letting them get back in your life.
See, when he got back with her, when he started trying to choose. He started based off what you said. He started trying to accuse her of cheating, starting to gaslight her, like you sleeping with the trainer. He's like,
None. It's all selfish. I don't know how many of y'all have been hurt, betrayed, or whatever, and it just felt like this man is going so hard to get me back, but something don't feel right about it. He just wants me back. He doesn't want to do me right. He just wants me back. And if you're not careful, your broken.
When she talk about how many times she left and then they got back together, and it's like he just want me back. He don't want to do me right. He just wants you back. He not gonna do you. It's like, dude, you just want her back, but you wouldn't gonna change nothing. You wouldn't go change a goddamn thing. You just wanted her back. She was good for the brand. You need a regular looking chick to be married to for the brand. I'm not gonna change. I just need you back. It's like, I swear, I picked a Derrick Jaxn video at random.
Heart, which is likely attached to the familiar as well, will let him back in so that you don't have to deal with the feeling of loss. Because it goes both ways. But when a man just tries to hurry up and hurry up and hurry up, get you back, no attention to fixing the part of him that broke you.
I am Jews in the building says he sent a prayer to the stretch mark gods, and gods will gaslight him to glory. He sent a prayer to the stretch mark gods, the gods will gaslight him to glory. Yes. I don't know why he's sending a prayer to the stretch mark gods. But the gods will gaslight him to glory. Okay, cool. We'll go with it. I barely get the joke, but thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Emmett Perry says if you didn't marry her, she'd be a baby mama. Yeah. I mean, she basically said it. She was in the rotation when she got pregnant. And she was in the rotation when they was co-parenting. And then he just out of nowhere said, hey, let's get married. I know in the timeline of how she broke down the story and just the timeline from what I was seeing on my Facebook page, he proposed to her after the backlash came from his audience when he took a picture showing his baby laying on his chest. And he knew then, I got to get married.
No awareness. No compassion for the fact that you need some time to even know if you want to get back into a relationship with him or anybody else. More than likely, it's because he's spiraling in guilt and regret because he lost something. Now, here's the
Oh, Nate. Yeah, that was a part. I skipped that part because I was trying to skip the beginning when they was giving parts of her back. Oh, did I skip that part or did I just let it float by when I was playing the recording? But yeah, no, she said she had three abortions. Listen, that fine religion late in life, God, battle bonnet, God warrior stuff is real. She was living, wait a minute. 3 abortions. That's, yeah, now that makes you wonder. Was she aborting his? Because she didn't say when. Like, they got together at 19. So she would have been having to have abortions back at, 16, 17, 18, sometime around there. Like, that's like, she would have had, yeah, that's 3 teenage abortions. Like, that's a lot. Unless she was aborting his babies or somebody else's babies after they was, together, who knows? Either that or it was just like 3 teenage abortions. 3 abortions is a lot. Three abortions before 20 is an astronomical number. Like, damn. Good catch, Nate. I remember when I first watched it, I was like, oh shit, 3 abortions, but I didn't, I wanted to get to the story. I think I skipped it when I was playing it. But goddamn. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. But she's a good Christian woman now, and it's, all a part of her redemption story. Everything that she participated in, that she let happen, that she co-signed, that she was, willfully a part of, all of that, it don't matter. She was a rotation, chicken a rotation and got pregnant. It don't matter. This is her healing, redemption, triumph story. None of it matters. None of it matters. So let's hear Derek Jackson tell us how to be better men.
Danger in letting that type of man back in. Because he didn't put any focus on fixing him, dealing with him, healing him, or whatever it was that caused him to hurt you. If it came from that type of place. Some guys just come with a hidden agenda, of course. They don't have good intentions to begin with. But if he's not doing that, it's going to resurface. The moment that pain is gone again, the pain of loss is gone because now you back in and he has access to you all over again, he's going to repeat the exact same behaviors as before. He was only motivated by that pain, by that abandonment wound he never healed. And now that he's actually lost you, the one that actually caused the loss, now that pain is gone, all of them I'm sorry's and stuff like that.
Man, I swear these Derek Jackson bars, they hit different. Derek Jackson bars hit different after just listening to that interview. Kay Cooper says, can't believe people still take them serious. People do. Like, look at the comment section. Those aren't plants. People actually take them serious. People legit take this man serious. Like, she wilding though. She not doing nothing wrong. Even though I could poke him prod and look at it with my third eye, as they say, and see some stuff where she was wrong and whatnot. But like, she's putting this shit out there on blast on Front Street because this is why she's doing what she's doing. She could see that he is sort of about to get like a free pass to be able to get away with it, get away with everything. If he's not married to her and he's a single man, he's just allowed to. You can be a single man and sleep around with a lot of women and have casual sex and still say this stuff. You just can't do it, sleep around, be married, and say all this stuff at the same time. You can't sleep around, be married, and say all this stuff at the same time, but you can sleep around, not be married, and say this stuff. And so over time, people are going to forget and just, the internet is very forgivable sometimes. Time go by. People got goldfish memories. And so he'll be able to go back to basically just doing his normal routine. And she like, no. After I take my half, I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure you don't be able to make nothing else going forward.
I know the way a living was whack. She don't get it back like that.
That get replaced by the same old behavior, probably blaming you even more this time, etc., etc. So that's the first way you know if this emergency urgency on getting you back, and not that energy is not invested in to dealing with the ugly parts of him so that he could do you right. If you even bless him with an opportunity to get you back, you know he's just spiraling in guilt. The second way that you know is if he jumps right in, and that's whether relationship or into like the sexcapade. He just goes on this rendezvous. He's just getting, spreading his oats, so to speak. That man is trying to distract himself. He's trying to put off all of the, again, convictions. Because when you do something wrong, if you have even an inkling, go get some new, go jump into a new relationship, slander you to that person, and so that they can tell them things and make them feel like they were never the problem. And the whole time, he's still missing you. He's still missing you. His pride and ego says don't go back, though. Now, that lets you know that man is spiraling in his guilt and his shame. But
I'm just skipping the random parts now.
He won't confront it. So he runs from it. And he runs from it into the vagina of a new woman, or into a relationship of the new woman. Of course, AKA rebound. But a rebound can also be a woman that's just there for temporary purposes.
Oh, these Derek Jackson bars hit different. True Hype in the building says, when do we get this in movie format starring Taraji P. Henson, produced by Tyler Perry? Oh, yeah. I can see that happening.
And now
and shit, just let Derek Jackson play himself in the movie, too. He'll probably do it. It was already he was doing some acting. I think O'Shea did a video on it. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know exactly what it was, but he was acting. And the lines in the movie was funny and corny as hell. I mean, it wasn't a movie. It was just like it might have been. I don't know if it was like a small role in a big movie or like a big role in a little small skit. I don't know what the hell it was. But anyway.
He's going to surround himself with women who only using him more than likely for the money that he's splurging on or whatever. Because a lot of women, even
he had chicks on yachts and whatnot. Didn't he have his side chicks on yachts? Ain't that what Tasha K exposed? Now he's talking about these women using him for whatever money he's splurging on them. These videos be about himself. All this time, these been real life biographical car videos.
Even if they don't have long-term intentions, they do have intuition, and they know whether or not that man is there for them or not. And some women say, you know what, you trying to play with me, I'm gonna play the game with you. And you really know he's in this situation if you see his life go downhill because of the women that he's dealing with now. But that's another story. The one I really want to get to that lets you know if a man is just immersed and consumed with guilt and shame and not even genuine remorse, but really regret after losing you, is if he goes on a smear campaign. And some of y'all think a smear campaign is just when a man, goes online, goes to the church, goes to whatever, your network or whatever, and tells lies about you. A smear campaign, and actually I would say the most common one, is when a man tells half-truths. And this goes both ways. Women do the same thing. But when a person tells half-truths, and my mom used to tell me a half-truth is a whole lie.
A half-truth, like saying that I was having a sexual relationship without the sex with a woman that I wasn't cheating on my wife with. Oh man. Jackie Jack says, these are my confessions. Cue Usher. Yeah, like these videos have become confessionals. This was just from a month ago.
So whenever he talks about all the bad things you did without any context, he's intentionally painting a deceptive picture of you, which is still slanderous in nature. It's misleading people about your character. Now, why does a guy do this? Because he's a narc? Maybe. But I actually think that's less often the case. More often the case, that shame of the reality of what he lost whenever he lost you. Yeah, he lost some of those quote unquote flaws and imperfections and maybe those moments where you weren't your best self, but he also lost all of the good that came with you. And let's not even get on, matter of fact, we are going to get on, the fact that a lot of those negative things that you did likely were reactive. Y'all ever had somebody talk bad about you and how you showed up in a relationship? Man, she said this, she yelled at me.
Again, he's talking about himself. Remember when she was saying the situation with what was the dude named Fabian that she had going on, that she was reacting to what he did. Like he's He's telling he be in these videos retelling his life. She described a situation where she was doing stuff in reaction to what he did. And then now he's saying that this guy is accusing the chick of something, but he's accusing her of that. But whatever she was doing, if she was doing something, it was just reaction to what he was doing. He is these videos have been autobiographical. These been biographical videos this whole time. This whole time.
It was in front of the kids. It was in front of my mama. She came up to my job. But they didn't talk about how for months prior to that, you had questions. You had tried to have healthy communication with him about your concerns, but you were gaslit into believing you were the problem. It was
I swear, y'all, I did not watch this video. I swear I picked this video at random. I just said after I listen to the interview, I'm going to watch a random Derrick Jackson video. Everything that he's saying in this video lines up with the stuff that she was saying that he was doing. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Yeah. He a center. I thought you said he a sniper. That's what I see. He's a sniper. He got himself in his own crosshairs. Like he is headshotting himself right now.
was really your trust issues from all the other times. Other men in your past did the exact same thing he was actually doing. And then whenever you found out, you fucking snapped. Excuse my language. But you snapped on him. It was a straw that broke the camel's back. And yeah,
she just got done talking about how it built up over so much time. And then she finally snapped on him about it.
you yelled. Yeah, you cussed. Yeah, you called him out his name. Yeah, you went up to his job. Yeah, you went through his phone. But that was really your breaking point.
She just got done talking about how she went through his phone and found the videos of him with other women. Oh my goodness. I couldn't have planned this better.
Y'all ever had somebody talk like that? They tell that one little splice of when you were not your best self, but they don't talk about the role that they played that led up to that point. And they don't talk about all that you did that was the right way to handle things long before it got to that point where they didn't do their part to meet you halfway. Not only did they not meet you halfway, they were creating the issue to begin with. Man, she did this, she went out all night and didn't tell me. Whole time he's not talking about how you done came across all kind of stuff in his phone. He's not talking about how he was stonewalling you. He was walking out. He got too busy for you. He emotionally neglected you. He's not talking about how he manipulated you, how he leveraged your insecurities to make you feel like you were the problem because you were truly trying to be a better woman and be accountable. The whole time he was using that to hide the fact from you that he wasn't being accountable. He wasn't being his best self.
All right. We're gonna wrap this thing on up. This was solid gold. Man, going through that video again will be tedious and time consuming. But I shouldn't even say this out loud. Somebody gonna steal my idea. I'm going to do a edited montage mashup of her saying things in her interview with the Dear Future Wifey dude, and going to play a clip of him describing that exact same action. It's going to be a side by side, chopped up comparison. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Yeah, Excalibur. He's straight using his life for content. It's gonna be hard and tedious because, like I said, watching that whole video for an hour was like tedious. But I got to do that. It was just too many parts where, like, he literally described. And keep in mind, this video was a month before her interview came out, and he was just talking and was describing exactly what she was describing. God damn. God damn. All right. Yeah, that just tripped me out. That just tripped me out. But all right, y'all, we are at the 3-hour mark. I'd like to thank everybody for being in attendance today. We about to get up out of here. Do appreciate each and every one of you. Do appreciate each and every one of you in your participation today. Let me double check, see if anybody sent a Cash App. Do appreciate everybody who supported the stream in any way, shape, or form. But just modern day problems with the $20 Cash App. Modern day problems with the $20 Cash App. I do appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.